Hello and welcome. We are here at the O2 London ahead of arguably the best domestic card of 2025. Tonight's action is going to be top-to-toe, fan-friendly fights. And before we get stuck into it, I want to turn to promoters John and Mark to get their insights on tonight's fight night. So John, I'll turn to you first. We've got a couple of title fights on the card. We've got lots of 50-50 fights. Can you give us a quick breakdown?
Yeah, I mean, I could be here all day talking about all of them, but top of the bill, you've got Billy Allington against Jake Henty. That's for a Commonwealth Eliminator. Great fight. Billy Allington's the only fighter that's made Dalton Smith look ordinary, and Dalton Smith is definitely not ordinary. Jake Henty's on the way up. I think Jake's team probably think that they're getting him at the right time. The best version of Billy Allington, for me, I'm biased because his team TM14, but he will win that if you get the best version, but that's a real 50-50. Equally, you've then got the Commonwealth Silver title with Conor Gray against Billy Pickles. We brought Billy Pickles down from Leeds because he's a Dennis Hobson fighter in FightZone. That's obviously part of our team, so he's going up against Mark's fighter Conor Gray. Conor Gray's got the belt and undefeated. For me, Billy's a bit more experienced. He has been beaten, but he's fought at maybe a higher level, but that doesn't mean he guarantees a win. Another 50-50. You've got the one everyone seems to be talking about that I hear is Dan Francis against Ollie Duffy. Again, it's Neilson against TM14 because Dan is their guy. And Dan, I'll be honest, at first I wasn't sure of Dan, but every time I see him, I'm like, right, okay, he is really good. And I think he's at a fantastic level. Ollie, equally, again, he's my boy, so I'll be biased, but another flipper coin. And then you've got Onder Ozgul against Forrest, which super middleweight. Onder's 39, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong there, Onder. But he has had 2 fights in 5 years. I think he's 13-0 with 1 draw. And Liam Forrest is 4-0. But all 4 fights in the last year, a lot younger. Got good fan base. He was on X on the beach, one of them reality shows, etc. So that should be a really, really good fight. And the rest of the card is stacked. But it is, last year, I've got to get this bit in now. We won last year, 11 points to 5, I think it was, that he's nodding. But yeah, TM14, I think it might be a bit closer this time. I'm obviously going to back my boys, but they are really, really good fights. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, really exciting fights on the card tonight. I definitely think the Dan Francis Ollie Duffy one is the much anticipated. You know, it's for the vacant southern area welterweight, and it's really exciting. It's a true 50-50 by definition. And then you've got Liam Forrest kind of stepping up. You know, Onder is super experienced in comparison, so that step up is, you know, is really brave. Mark, what do you feel is going to be the fight that tears the roof off the place tonight?
Well, firstly, I think it's going to be a complete washout for you guys at TM14. You've just run through some of those fights, and they're absolutely brilliant. I know the fight fans are going to win first and foremost, but as you're running through them and you're saying, I think that's a TM14 win. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's going to be a washout. That's definitely a Neilson boxing win, that's for sure. I mean, you're running through some of those. Dan Francis is on fire. Jake Henty's on fire. Conor Gray, we've had him since his debut. He's our boy. You know, yeah, he's the younger, but he's fresh. He's fought everyone, and he gets better every fight. And you touched on Dan Francis. I'm seeing a better Dan Francis. He's definitely a British level fighter at least. You know, the fans are going to win for sure. But there's some cracking fights, isn't there? Billy Allington, Henty, stacked with 50-50s. And it's what we do when we do our joint shows together, isn't it, John? You know, we're live streaming on FightZone, so we've got a fantastic audience to see these brilliant fights. But 50-50 fights, total fights, eliminators, prospects, 50-50s. You know, I've got like Kieran Keane in his second fight. He's British level, outstanding amateur, and so he's going to be setting it alight again tonight as well. And then this fantastic venue, brilliant crowds that we always have here. It's full up, the atmosphere is always great, and like I said, fight fan first and foremost are going to be the winners tonight.
For sure. I mean, I'm loving the competitive spirit that's kind of bubbling here. With
well, it's no competition really. Yeah.
I can just feel the energy is a little bit different. But speaking of that kind of sense of competition, you know, you guys have spoken about being the promoters, being the platform where London is really, really booming. You know, where do you guys kind of place yourselves among other promoters in the industry?
Yeah, we get asked that quite often. We think we're a great team. You know, you've got Mark and Neilson boxing, you've got us and TM14. Dennis is part of it as well at FightZone, so it's very unique, the setup. Very rarely will you see 2 promoters work together. Obviously we're the licence holders on the show, but Dennis is a promoter in his own right, so 3 people sort of like all getting involved and supporting each other. It is, yeah, there's one of the fighters, it is unique, but I think we are there or thereabouts. You know, when contracts do come up, some people will sit there and go, really, but who else is going to get them? So we keep putting on great shows. Mark's mentioned we have a great working relationship. We argue a lot, but we make up a lot, and that's good, because that's good for business. If you just sat there going yes, yes, yes all the time, and we think, well, I can speak for TM14, I think I've grown a lot in the last year working with Mark and his team, and Dennis as well, so really, really good for us, but we're not far off. You know, someone's got to get them contracts one time, right?
Yeah, and actually, just to add in there, I mean, there's some good promoters out there, but I think we're the most prolific in London. We've said it before, without sort of blowing smoke up the proverbial. I think we run London now. We have so many shows at York Hall, that iconic venue. We're doing things like this, and there's other good promoters around the country. But outside of the top four, with the big TV multinational platforms, we're there nipping at the heels. So as soon as there's a contract up for renewal, they're going to be looking at us, because we don't just do the run-of-the-mill, the Sunday afternoon in a leisure centre, 4-fight cards, home fighter against a journeyman. We're putting stat cards on. We're putting our own money in our pocket. Big investment for John and I, and a bit of Dennis as well with the FightZone support. Big investment from all of us, and we're putting some brilliant shows. And I got to say the best out there. I'm a fight fan. I sit at ringside, and I'm looking forward to this show tonight for sure.
Likewise. Speaking, not kind of moving past tonight's action, but looking slightly ahead, on the 4th of April, we've got the big battle at the bridge, at Stamford Bridge. Give the fans a quick rundown of that night.
Well, that's really exciting as well, right? I don't know which one I'm more excited about. That one's actually Dennis's show. Dennis is the licence holder there, but again, we work with him, right? So the majority of the fighters on there are associated with TM14 Neilson Boxing. It's a great show. For anyone who's not aware, we're bringing over 7 or 8, maybe 9 Americans. It's UK v USA 2. The first time we fought was in Texas in October, and we ended up with a 3-all draw. It was so good, we said, let's invite him over. We've gone a bit bigger this time. Roy Jones is the team captain for America. For any boxing fans tuning in, I don't need to say who that is. Spencer Oliver's the team captain of England, who we love. He's a cheeky chappy, but he's brilliant, and their banter together and their chemistry is great. But they're all 50-50 fights, a bit like what Mark's mentioned here. We're asking all these English lads to jump in with people who are like 8-0 with 7 knockouts, 6-0 with 5 knockouts. So that will equally be a massive show. Very biased because I'm a Chelsea fan, so we picked the right venue, but we've given them a stage to put that on, because no disrespect to those leisure centres that Mark's mentioned, but shows like this deserve the O2. Shows like that deserve Chelsea, for the fighters more than anything, and that just gives us bigger branding. But no, there's a few celebrities coming. I won't name drop them because they might not come now, but we're expecting that to be a very different event, and we're looking forward to that one for sure.
Looking forward to that one, looking forward to this one. Guys, we want to get stuck in. We're moments away now from the action. Don't go anywhere, it's not one you want to miss, and we'll see you at ringside.
Radio Raheem here, welcoming you to the Indigo O2 Arena. This is a night of incredible boxing, a clash not just for the fighters but for the promoters. It is repeat or revenge. The immediate electricity in the room, you can feel it every time we have bouts here. The crowd is ruckus, so expect a party, expect a good time. The bouts will be in shortly, and we'll get this running order in front of you right now.
Melissa's out here, and as Raheem said, this is a fantastic night of boxing. It is top to toe, 50-50 fan-friendly action. We have a Southern Area title fight on the card. We have a Commonwealth Silver title fight on the card, and we have the Commonwealth Eliminator. So it is absolutely a win for the fans. Us at ringside, we're excited as well. Can't wait to get things started and underway.
One of those classic nights where we have 50-50 fights at the top of the bill. A little bit of grudge between the fighters. You told me earlier in the night that it was Duffy and Francis that you're looking forward to.
Yes, very much. Daniel Francis versus Ollie Duffy. That is the definition of a 50-50. And you talk about a bit of a grudge. And when we were doing the intro, I felt a little bit of competition between the promoters as well. Mark Neilson backing his boys, and John Chathui backing his boys. So, the competition is everywhere tonight.
You'll find that fighters want to perform for their promoters. These guys have gotten opportunity from the promotion. They've got history with the promoter. They want bragging rights. So when the promoters decide to get involved in the face-off, if you will, the fighters have a little bit more incentive to win and be the hero on the night. So we're looking forward to who might steal the show on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you guys had tuned in last year for the Neilson Boxing versus TM14, promoters v promoters clash, this is very much going to be a repeat of that, and things got quite spicy then, so I'm looking forward to seeing what tonight brings.
Well, the last promoter v promoter, I think it was a 5v5 I did in Riyadh, and it was a clean sweep by Queensberry, so they haven't stopped talking about those bragging rights yet. So we'll see if one of these promoters can prevail, because one thing about promoters, they won't shut up if they get a win.
Do they ever? I mean, I know it was a clean sweep for John last year with the TM1 4 boys, and he very much thinks it's going to be the same again. Mark was talking about how it's going to be an absolute washout from the Neilson side, so it's exciting. Is there a particular fight that you're looking forward to seeing tonight?
I always like a not undisputed, but undefeated clash. So I might be eyeing the same fight as you. 9-0 Daniel Francis versus 7-0 Oliver Duffy. I love to see when someone's O has got to go. Those tend to be the hardest fights with the most motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. That fight, that's a really anticipated fight. Everyone seems to be talking about it. I know we've also got the Commonwealth Silver Super Lightweight title fight on the card, as well as, the main event for the Commonwealth Eliminator. But for some reason, I keep hearing everybody talking about this Southern area, and I think Southern areas are a really good test of a boxer's ability and kind of the trajectory in which their career is going to go.
One thing I love is a fighter with a fun name, because I'm quite childish, so I'm looking forward to Billy Pickles stepping through the ropes. Also, almost an undefeated fighter. One loss, we can't take any credit off him for that. So Connor Gray and Billy Pickles will be one I'm eyeballing as well.
Well, whatever gets the juices flowing, Radio Raheem. If it's the silly name, it's a silly name. If it's the record, it's the record.
We're gonna keep a tally of how many times we say pickles.
Denzel Bentley's just joined us here on comms.
Yes. I was here on time. I was just checking the boys in the back because they're fighting tonight.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
We were just talking about fights we were looking forward to on the card, Denzel. We settled on the undefeated bout, but also there's so many good matchups. What one has caught your eye?
There's, like you said, there are a lot of good matchups, but most of the guys are from my gym. So Billy Allington versus Jake Henty, that's going to be a very good fight. Billy Allington's he's a part of our gym, and Jake Henty, I've seen him spar about our gym loads of times. Good fighter. But the fight I'm looking forward to most is Dan Francis versus Oliver Duffy.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good fight.
That's the one we keep
talking
about.
Two good welterweights,
well,
yeah. Ollie's obviously from our gym, and Dan's been down our gym to spar a few times as well. So I've seen them both, first hand, and I think that's going to be the fight of the night.
Melissa was telling me before the fight about the fact that, Ollie is stepping up in weight, and it's I think, a time for him to kind of prove that he's deserving in this class. And it's a challenge always when you change weight divisions. You never know if your power is going to carry with you, if you're going to have the same speed and timing. What do you think that feels like for a fighter coming in with an advantage like that?
I think with Ollie, I think, because I know him personally, I think this was the best decision he's made. I don't know how he made 140. He looked bigger than Dan on the scales yesterday when I saw them. He was a big 140, and he's a good sized welterweight. But like you said, moving up in weight, you want to know if your power carries, if your power carries, and if you can handle the weight and stuff. But he's so confident. He's been so confident in the gym, and I think this is the most comfortable he's been making weight. So it should be a good fight. And Dan Francis is one of those guys where he's feeling himself. He's always coming forward, good head movement, fast hands. I don't think this fight can disappoint, but I think they'll both be confident.
And again, Melissa, you mentioned that Daniel's last performance wasn't impressive as it could be. What do you feel like he has to prove tonight?
Well, I think that actually he was working through an injury at the time that he was out in Ipswich. So you could see it actually in his feet. He didn't look too steady there. So I think that's what contributed to it not being a Dan Francis classic, because he is such an explosive, powerful, and impressive fighter. So hopefully he's worked through that injury. Those issues have gone, and we can see a Dan Francis classic, because Mark talks about Dan a lot, and he says that this kid's got it all. He's a star in the making. So it's as Denzel said, it can't disappoint.
And Denzel, when you get the win, even when you get the win, but it wasn't a performance at your top level, you didn't look as good as you had wanted to look, and people start doubting you in boxing as soon as they see any kind of crack in the armor. What does that do for a fighter's mentality when he gets another shot at it?
It makes him want to prove himself. I think I was at the last fight at your call. Am I right, Melissa? Was that at your call?
No, sorry, it was at Ipswich.
Oh, Ipswich. Okay, I must have missed that. I was at one of the fights in your call where he didn't feel like he performed his best, and he came out and he was like, "Oh, I need him to open up," and he was kind of looking for an excuse as to why he couldn't perform. And I just said, "Look, that's how it goes. You can only fight what's in front of you. If the person in front of you is being negative, then you can only, find a way to handle that." But I think now he's got a fighter in Ollie that's going to be there with him and stand in front of him. He's going to, use this as an opportunity to show what he can do, because he feels like his last 2 or 3 performances hasn't been up to scratch. Now is his time to really shine and be like, "I told you guys, I deserve to be at this level."
We're in for an incredible night. We're already 3 fights from the main event talking about how great a mix-up it's going to be. As the ring announcer steps through the ropes, for the rest of the card, we'll definitely have to take a look and see who's coming up, and we'll get to that main event in just a few moments.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live at the O2 Indigo Arena for a night of boxing action brought to you by Neilson of Neilson Boxing in association with John Trethewey of TM14 Promotions. This is Promoters Colliding, Repeat or Revenge. We're all set to go with a 4-round special attraction in the welterweight division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome Justin Menzie. And now entering the arena is Tommy Gun, Tommy Pickles!
Well, it's always good to see a little sportsmanship from each fighter as they climb through the ropes. You see them touch gloves, ready for a solid competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our first bout of the evening. Mark Neilson of Neilson Boxing in association with John Trethewey of TM14 Promotions present 4 rounds in the welterweight division. The action is sponsored by Gladius, Allegra, and JJ Crump and Son. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Nigel Thomas. Your timekeeper of the bell is John Smith, and your referee is A-star referee Kieran McCann. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in today at 10 stone, 8 pounds, wearing black and gray. Taking part in his 33rd contest this evening from Essex, Justin Menzie. And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner. He weighed in today at 10 stone, 7 pounds, wearing black and white. He's undefeated in 2 contests from Norwich. Please welcome Tommy Gun, Tommy Pickles.
Right, lads, listen up. You both know the rules. You're going to obey my commands at all times. When I tell you to break, you break clean. Take a step back, throw no punches. Mind your legs in close. And most importantly, lads, protect yourself all the time. Shake it.
Seconds out, round 1.
We're joined ringside by Max Jenkins and Denzel Bentley. Oh, looks like a quick start. You can see Tommy coming out, starting fast, trying to set the pace, dictate the space.
Yeah, he's taking middle of the ring, which is quite interesting. And, you know, he's trying to stamp his authority on here.
He's looking for the right hand from the very opening bell.
Yeah.
always got to be careful with a cagey fighter that tucks up and just takes shots, because he's looking for something in between punches to catch you by surprise.
He is, most definitely. So Petrol's throwing some lovely shots, but he shouldn't get carried away. He's got to be defensively responsible on you know, with anything that's coming back.
Just interesting, Denzel, on this. Do you think his lead hand's a bit down? You know. For you?
Yeah, it is, but sometimes fighters are comfortable. You know, as long as they know where their hands are, they're all right. That's another. He's throwing some good right hands there, but Mendy's starting to become a little bit cute and making them miss. I think he should get back to his jab.
Tommy's getting a little greedy right off the bat. Lead right hands is a bit disrespectful in the first round.
I just feel Justin needs to be that little bit more sharp with the jab and just keep him off his back and not back him up as much. It's a bit better.
Yeah, you'll hear Justin, when he tucked up and I think took those shots, he gave Tommy the impression that he wasn't going to be an offensive fighter, and maybe Tommy could just get an early knockout and let loose. But I think he needs to get back on the jab, stick on the jab, kind of establish his range.
Yep, find the openings, back in that jab. Keep at that distance there. No need to rush forward, especially where he's fighting a southpaw fighter. He doesn't want to end up on the wrong side of, you know, their feet.
That's right. It always takes a little bit of extra discipline when you're fighting a southpaw. They can be crafty.
That's lovely. Even if that jab doesn't land, just keeping it busy, keeping that lead hand busy, keeps his opponent guessing, and then they can't set nothing up or wait for a counter.
See, he's a bit reactive, Justin. You see that by Tommy when he's trying to feint.
Yeah, making Tommy miss isn't going to be enough, though. He's got to make him pay.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing much offense from Justin at all. So he's being cute and clever for sure. It's a bit of impressive how he's slipping punches, but he's going to have to come back with something, or Tommy's just going to start walking him down, trying to overwhelm him.
Yeah.
It's a clean, nice first round, feeling each other out. I think Tommy certainly got the best of that one. But hopefully in the corner, Justin will be designing a game plan for some offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say that for gents? Would you say that's Tommy's round for sure? Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
It's Tommy's round, but it's not a flawless round. As Denzel mentioned, Justin was able to make him miss quite a bit, and his defense, even when he tucked up, was effective. So I don't know what you think he could do offensively to make this more of a fight.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, you can make him miss, but he's got to make him pay also. He's making a miss and he's moving around, but he's not really throwing anything of substance back. So maybe he could make it a bit more competitive by throwing something back at Petrol, making Petrol think about his work.
Something intimidating about Tommy standing up in the corner between rounds. To me, that's always also a bit of a show-off, like, you know.
Yeah, I get that. But in the gym, that's what we do. I mean, you spar and you just go back to the corner and stand up. But yeah, you're probably making it, making it known that, oh, I'm not tired here. That I haven't really, done anything. I don't need to sit down.
Yeah, and if you're standing in the corner between rounds, I always say run to the center of the ring.
Yeah, that's a bit more intimidating than just standing and shouldering back. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's learned the right thing in the corner. Tommy he's kind of gotten his shape back, working the jab, looking to set things up. And there you go. It's a more
much better work. He landed them 2 shots and didn't rush it. He just stayed in that distance and, was being disciplined. He stayed patient.
That's right. And when you're 2-0, you feel a lot of pressure to get a knockout. You got only 4 rounds to work with. You want to be impressive. You want people to be talking about you. And especially if you're at the top, at the beginning of the card, by the end of the night, you really got to do something special for people to still be, for you to still be on people's mind. Yeah,
100%. But like we said, the most important thing is just getting the win first. Just getting the win. I mean, after this, he's still got 2 more rounds to kind of break him down. It's not a lot in professional boxing. But even if he doesn't get a knockout, if he picks his shots and has a flawless victory, that's something to look at and be like, that was spectacular boxing.
Do you reckon at this stage there is a flawless victory without a knockout?
Yeah, because you can only fight what's in front of you, and if the person in front of you is being so negative and you can draw entertainment out of that, then you can only respect that. Do you know what I mean? For the purists, for the guys that enjoy boxing.
I like the way you put it, being negative. If you're not being offensive, you're being negative. And right now, Justin Menzie is being very negative. I would like to see a more positive attitude.
Yeah. We got to see something come back. I mean, I can probably do a punch count for what he's throwing out. We don't need the machines.
So what are you arguing, Denzel? Do you think he could be Justin's a little bit more output, a little bit more busier, would you say?
Yeah, listen, he's being defensively responsible. He's moving. Oh, what a shot. Backhand there.
Good backhand there.
That was a good backhand.
Do you think this is a tactic, what they're doing, is they're trying to wear Tommy out? They're just getting to punch himself out?
Well, if he's trying to wear him out, he's trying to wear him out with his face, which might not be the best tactic. I mean, that counter punch was nice.
Yeah, but even so, he doesn't have enough rounds, in the fight to kind of wear him out. But what he can do is, everyone knows prospects at this stage, at this level, rush their work, lack of experience. They want a knockout. They want to impress their crowd because they know they're not fighting anyone that's, going to bring much back. And that could play against him. Like you saw that left hand that landed earlier because he was rushing forward.
And you can tell from what Menzie is doing and what he's not doing. He's resigned himself. He's not going to be able to outbox Petrol, and he's not going to be looking for a point to win. So he's hoping to just catch him in between shots, slip in, catch him with something that he can't see coming, and hopefully get a flash knockdown, if not a knockout. Seems to be his only hope. However, you do have to respect his defense. But when there's no offense behind it, it's a lot. No
one's going to want to come in to see a boring fight for 4 rounds or however long it lasts. So you want to be exciting. You want to make people come back and watch you. You want to draw a crowd, especially if it's being streamed or televised. So I can understand why he's rushing and looking for these shots, but if he just stays patient and picks these shots, he'd probably end up, better off.
And I think Tommy might have heard me. He did run to the center of the ring and get there.
You're quite close. He probably did hear it. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I like touching gloves at the start a little bit. Like, okay, I get that, but unless it's the final round, I say we keep the grit going. None of this sportsmanship stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
the fight's over.
I hate especially in a good fight.
Beginning of the fight, leave it at that.
That's it. Yeah, that's beginning and the last round when I ask you. Every round that's giving me
plus you get a cheap shot as well.
Yeah, exactly, can. But when you do that, it gives me sparring partner mentality. Like, when sparring,
they're your enemy, really.
Yeah,
let's be honest. Yeah. They couldn't care about you, so why should you care about them?
Exactly. Yeah.
And now you see Justin getting cute here, doing the little ollie shuffle and trying to do a Mayweather peekaboo. He's pulling out all the defensive action, but also just looking to pot shot. Nothing behind it with combinations, not setting anything up. I don't know what I could tell Tommy to do to break that down in a side of 4 rounds, but maybe now it's time to just force Justin to come to him, or let the fight be as boring as it could be, because you don't want to fall into that trap.
You don't want to fall into that trap, exactly that, and then get caught on the counters or with a pop shot. I'm saying there's no need to really rush forward. Just hold your ground, take a little step back, make Menzie feel like he can come to you. Because even on the ropes, he uses the ropes really well. He leans right back on the ropes and makes Petrol fall short.
That's right.
What do you think the tactics here, Denzel, Raheem here? What do you think is happening here? Do you think he's just waiting for him to just come onto that backhand and wait for that opportunity?
For Menzie, yeah, Menzie's waiting to set him up with a counter punch or something. Just be as awkward as possible. Slowing. He's also trying to, all them things he's doing there, slowing down Petrol's work. The minute he does all of that, it makes Petrol think, okay, let me not throw it. So Petrol just needs to be relaxed, just hold his ground, take a step back, make Menzie want to come forward a bit, and then change the pace of the fight, the direction of the fight a little bit, and then catch him off guard.
This is probably not the kind of advice you want to get in your corner, but for me, I like a rough fight too. If a guy's like this, grab him up, box him inside, press him on when he's on the ropes, and don't let him get out. There's even though they're not,
hit him over. I get what you're saying.
Just keep busting him up until he has to fight.
But just judging by what I've seen, that's not Petrol's type of style. I think he'd be forcing a style out of him that's not his, and it may be untidy. I think him just boxing at this range here is perfect. Just popping them shots every now and then. A jab here and there. He doesn't have to do anything too extraordinary. He's winning. He doesn't have to do anything, out of character.
He can just could sort of put his hands in his pockets now, Tommy, can't he?
Yeah, pretty much. In a fight like men's is really awkward, I mean,
but this is interesting because effectively, if we're scoring it how we're looking at it now, Justin, he needs a knockout.
Yeah, we're 100%.
Yeah, we're agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he might need 2 knockouts. And I'll tell you what, as we watch the replay, you see some good combination punching from Tommy, but it's all being received by Justin, just tucked up and absorbing the shots, knowing that this fight ain't 12 rounds, so he could probably take that kind of beating on the arms and the sides for 4.
And even,
go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, even if Tommy comes out not really happy with the performance, the guy in front of him wasn't giving him anything to work with. So it was like, he just had to go back and look at, probably how to, box against someone that negative. What do you do? How do we step down? Like you were saying, get rough, just get rugged.
That's
and
it.
Push his head down, hit him everywhere, hit him on the waist, hit him on the shoulder. But clearly he's a clean fighter. He likes to get his work off cleanly.
Tommy's a nice guy, a good competitor. He's being a sportsman, but it's given sparring session right now, and I think he just gotta get a little bit more aggressive. And I think he's using a lot of energy, at least in the 3rd round, being more defensive than necessary. If nothing's coming back, you don't need to be moving your head and ducking and bobbing and weaving quite as much. Just draw him in with something. I mean, Tommy could draw Justin in and hit him maybe at least with a counter of those kind of little pawing jabs that you see.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. I think it was the 2nd round when he was using his jab more. Even if it's not landing, you might draw something out of Justin. He might think, okay, after this one goes, I'm going to try and counter it. And then you've opened him for a counter yourself.
That's right. I mean, for the entirety of this fight, maybe we've seen one really good, clean shot from Justin. It was a nice left hand right down the pipe, but short of that, I'm not seeing much work at all. That's it. This is what I like. This is what I like right here.
Right here.
Yeah, something right up the middle. Uppercut would have been nice.
Or some shoe shining.
That's a good jab. Double it up.
That's right.
Don't you think that's underrated, Denzel? Double jab.
Yeah, it's very underrated.
Yeah, and not many people use it.
They don't. But if you double up a jab, it's probably one of the best shots in boxing. The jab is, but if you double it up, I mean, you're more than likely going to land. You know what I'm saying? No one's slipping 2 jabs. I mean, unless you're
unless you're like Lomachenko or something.
And in this case, it's the exact right prescription. When a fighter is not looking to engage and he's just trying to slip you, he might slip the first one, but pop him with the second one and make him think again.
And even if the first one goes to the head, the second one goes to the body, or the other way around.
That's right.
Yeah, just keep doubling them up.
Ooh.
Yeah, at this point, I think Tommy just, doesn't want to get caught with anything silly.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. He's won the fight.
That's it.
But I can imagine he wants to, impress his crowd.
Well, we've seen strange things happen, by the way, Denzel, in this sport. So let's not get carried away.
Can't give the chance to shoot.
Yeah.
We got another good body shot from Justin. Landed clean, probably the 2nd clean shot I've seen in the fight. But again, that's because Tommy is pressing a little bit, staying in the pocket, hoping to land something big and maybe get a last-second knock.
This is the most offensive Justin has been in this fight, though.
That's right. Yeah,
the most I've seen him come forward.
I think he knows the game he's playing.
Yeah.
He needs to do something. He's putting on the gas.
But this is where Tommy can catch him coming in. You change the rhythm of the fight. He's coming forward now. You catch him on the counter. You catch him coming forward.
But sometimes boxers can't do that. If they're used to doing offences, and sometimes you might want used to be doing on the back foot.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true.
As we hear the 10-second clap, this may not be the prettiest fight that you'll see from Tommy, and hopefully he'll have opponents that are more game. But this is an important learning fight.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
getting a guy there who is kind of skilled at surviving, and like you said, he turned up the heat in the last round, which I think threw Tommy's timing off, and he might have even arguably won that round. Justin.
I can agree with that. I think that should have been Tommy that switched the pace there. He should have switched the pace rather than allowing Justin to, because now Justin's thrown off his game and it's like, oh, now I've got to find my feet and then go again. How do I handle this? But
that's exactly right.
It's all learning. It's all learning. He's definitely going to look back and be like, I'm not impressed with that. How do I handle a fight with this down next time?
Right, and
or
next
maybe
time
matching with someone that's down next time.
All right, well, I guess these guys are going to go for a fight after because they got someone out there.
Action, we go to your referee scorecard. Referee Keenan McCann scores the contest 39-37. He's still undefeated. Tommy Petrol.
It's a good win. Tommy Petrol goes to 3-0. start building that record and getting that experience. This is definitely one of those fights that he will look back and he'll review it and figure out where he missed his opportunities and how better to control the pace when a fighter doesn't want to engage.
Yeah, 100%. They're still very early in his career. These fights are so important. They're so important because if he just went out there and knocked out in the first round, he wouldn't realise his flaws.
That's right.
But now he's realised his flaws, he can go back with his coach. And, you know, we've got a great team with him and they can go back and work on stuff and, you know, improve. And when he looks back on it, when he does, he'll be like, I'll stop that guy next time because I know that's what to do.
Yeah, that's right. Got another undefeated fighter headed to the ring in no time. Joseph Abercrombie. I gotta tell you, I'm a guy that likes words and names. So when I was coming up, Abercrombie was the jeans I wanted to wear, the Abercrombie. So I'm wondering if there's any relation, you know what I mean? Because I feel like the Abercrombie family should have this guy a bit higher up the car.
Yeah, they shoot the put him power a bit.
All right, we're moving to 6 rounds as well, so they have a little bit more time to work in the next fight. And we see the replay here. As we talked about during the fight, created frustration from Tommy trying to press the action, trying to make the fight. And you just see a very skilled defensive fighter knowing how to survive. Even with those body shots landing, you're not going to be able to do much if a guy isn't willing to work with you. So for Justin Lindsay, he's going to get out with a nice check for the night and didn't get knocked out and teaches a young fighter a little bit of the craft. You can even see the frustration on Tommy's face in the replay. He wants to go to work. There's just not a canvas there for him.
Yeah, he wants to go to work and Justin just didn't want to work with him.
Yeah.
So you can see the frustration in his face, but you know, he'll get better at not showing he's frustrated and, you know, I think he handled it quite well.
In the gym, consistent, not getting too erratic throughout my shots, just keeping nice and simple and sticking to what we're learning.
Justin Lindsay, you know, notoriously known for his defensive movement. What were some of the adjustments that you made throughout that fight? We saw a lot of investment to the body early on. Is that something that was part of the game plan?
Yeah, slow him down a little bit, take the sharpness, bit of sting away. And yeah, just working with what he come with because he was awkward, quite slippery. So yeah, just keeping on him.
3-0, you had your pro debut in September, you were last out in December. How important is that activity to you so early on in your career?
Oh, it's very important, especially I'm at the stage now where I'm like improving a little bit, little 1% every week, so it's just keeping in like a pattern with it, staying consistent, training, fighting every few months. It's the most important thing in the world, especially early on.
The O2 Arena tonight. How does it feel fighting in such a venue so early on, only 3 fights in?
Yeah, it's good. It's a wicked opportunity. Thanks very much to Neilson and John Trevway, TM14. It's really, really good. Be O2, third fight. A lot of fighters wait years for this, so yeah, it's good. I'm loving it.
You know, you're a really exciting fighter. That was a fantastic win in there tonight. Big future ahead of you. We look forward to seeing you back in action.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
We're all set to go with a 6-round special attraction in the lightweight division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome the Marajan Monster, Jonatas, Rodrigo the Oliveira.
Just watch the fear, real fear in their eyes when I hit the set. Oh no, Tupac routine, tights and self-obscene. I am Mike, cut his hair like a guillotine. Time for some action, you making me high like Tony Braxton. Bust the switching like Dennis Rodman, still mashing. I put my hand up to God like it's hard, feel my stress. Throwing blows in the square, but the singles best. Mike don't hurt them, but they scream, wait, what they need. Tyson put him on his head, touch the whole.
And now entering the arena, it's Braveheart, Johnson.
you guys got him. Oh, here we come. Pretty close to St. Paddy's Day. I see the green.
And just so the viewers know, Dan Aziz has just joined us. Nice of you to join us, Dan.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here with my gym partner, Denzel Bentley, and an idol of mine I used to grow up watching for years. We're here with, you know, the great Radio Raheem.
Well, I take that as a compliment there. I appreciate it, man. It's going to be a fun night.
Yes. TM14 Promotions presents 6 rounds in the lightweight division. The action is sponsored by Gladius, Lycra, and JJ Crump and Son. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Nigel Thomas. Timekeeper of the bout is John Smith, and your referee is Amy Hugh. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in today at 9 stone, 10 pounds, wearing black and white. Taking part in his 30th contest this evening from Para, Brazil, the Marajar Monster, Jonatas, Rodrigo de Oliveira. And his opponent boxing out of the corner. He weighed in today at 9 stone, 11 pounds, wearing green and black. 5 fights, 5 wins from Guildford, Surrey. Please welcome Braveheart Joseph Abercrombie.
Boxers, listen to my commands at all times. Watch your head, no low blows. Take a great step back. Nice touch gloves.
I saw both of these guys at the weigh-in, and they were incredibly intense. I think the action is going to be solid for this fight. 6 rounds.
Yes, I remember watching Joseph box, I think last year at the Harrow show. It was a good 4-rounder, good solid workman performance. So yeah, it's only right that he move into 6-rounders. I thought watching him last time, to be fair, I thought, yeah, he needs a bit more longer rounds because he seems to like break down his opponents. But yeah, it's good that he's on a 6-rounder, and yeah.
We see Braveheart there on his belt. He's starting with the jab, but hopefully we see some bravery tonight. He's clearly coming out to make a statement in the first round, not wasting any time being aggressive. However, you guys may not know this, but I'm from California. Spent most of my life in Los Angeles, so I know that any man that comes in with Afro puffs might be more dangerous than he appears.
Well,
this is a rough start.
It is
for Jonatas.
I just think Joseph's getting a bit too aggressive, and he's falling into his work. He gave himself a little bit of room.
He's smothering his own work.
He's smothering his own work, yeah, he's smothering it. He doesn't need to get that close.
But to our point for Tommy, right now he's not getting any resistance, so he's just overcommitting because he doesn't see anything coming back. And
he'd have much more leverage on his shots if he just took a little step back, if he didn't fall in as much. But he doesn't sound like he's got a good pop in his shots, though. He sounds like he's got good power.
And that was a very lazy hook from Jonatas, and I tell you, that's the kind of thing that gets you knocked out.
Yeah, 100%. I think Jonatas is hurt, though.
I think the best fight from Jonatas might have been at the weigh-in. I mean, he had the look, man, because he's got everything but the boxing. I saw the look on his face at the weigh-in. Now he's got a very different expression. He looks like he can't wait to get home, and I think Joseph is going to send him there.
Yeah, off the back of that, Joseph has landed some really lovely right hands that have gone straight through the guard. So I do think his opponent's might be a little bit buzzed.
A little bit buzzed, yeah. I think he's just out of his depth completely.
And I don't think Joseph has had a knockout on his record yet, so this might be a time to...
Oh, yeah.
When his first one?
Yeah.
When you've gone 6 bouts with no knockout, you are hungry for it. You're desperate for it. We're seeing just a little trickle of blood, I believe, from Jonatas' nose, which is surprising because I'd expect there to be more of a stream with all the shots he's taken. And to your point, Denzel, I think if Joseph just settled down a little bit, gave himself some room to punch, the knockout would come a lot faster than when pressing.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like when he's boxing off that jab, he looks so much better, 10 times better.
And Jonatas' body's wide open, so you just settle into what you know, your boxing skills. Go downstairs, you know, make him lower that guard a bit, and then come upstairs with something to finish.
If he settles down, you'll find it more.
That's right.
Because you'll be able to see it.
That's right. I mean, he just threw a haymaker there at the bell, a big bolo shot. I don't know if it's time for that just yet. You see the corner very animated, saying exactly what you said, Denzel. Yeah. He's telling him to make his space, create some room. There you go. And see, that body work is what really stopped.
That was a good right hand there. And look how close he gets. He doesn't need to be that close. He didn't need to go in there with his head. He didn't need to do that. Nothing was coming back anyway.
Yeah. And he's punching right through the guard. Even Jonatas' guard isn't strong. It's not as though you're getting any resistance, offense or defense. So just do your own work. Almost, you know, you could work this fighter like you're on the pads.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit what you
can
see.
Make it as easy as he wants. But he's doing his work and Jonatas' work for him.
That's right.
Good, lovely jab. Good balance.
There you go.
Stay on that work.
This is the kind of work that will bring the knockout much faster.
That's a heavy jab. That's a good jab. He brings it downstairs as well.
I think Joseph
go ahead.
should let him come towards him and just walk him onto one.
First.
Maybe let him get a bit comfortable, because so far shots are coming through, but his opponent is still expecting them, so you get that extra tense to brace for the shot, whereas when you don't expect it, those are the ones that knock you down, drop you, and so forth.
And to your point, unlike Justin in the last fight, we see that Jonatas is willing to stand in there. He's not moving, he's not slipping, he's gonna be there to be hit. So let him come to you and hit him.
You haven't got to do too much to open him up. He's there, and even like you said, he's punching through his guard anyway. So
I don't see us getting 6 rounds out of Jonatas. He just got hit with a hook that he blocked on his gloves and was still stunned by it.
Yeah, but this is where he doesn't need to be. Don't know why he wants to get so close. To stay at this distance here is perfect.
Yeah, and you see Jonatas just waving him in. Yeah. I think that is because it feels a lot better when the punches are smothered. So he's like, I'm going to get hit either way. Let me get hit with some smothered shots.
So Raheem, do you want to take back, you know, what you said about the puffs on the hair?
Listen, he might get rough and tough at any moment. There's no guarantees here.
He said only if they're from California.
So far, he's not doing a good job representing.
I thought they were Afro Puffs. They might be Mickey Mouse ears.
Just landed a lovely uppercut through the guard there.
Oh, man. Yeah, you see Joseph Abercrombie clowning with us. He liked my one-liner right there. You saw that. I got a laugh out of the fighter. But this is no laughing matter, this boxing. So I think Jonatas better get focused. And if he does have some offense, it's about time to mount it, because it's a dangerous game. And getting just destroyed in there is no fun for anybody, no matter what kind of cat and mouse game you want to play. Yeah, I mean, Jonatas just has no answers, even with that hook.
No, he has no answers.
He's falling on his own punches for absolutely no reason. I think he's just simply outclassed. While he's game, he just doesn't have much game to bring to the ring tonight.
And Joseph looks much bigger than him as well, or is it just me?
No, he does, and he's stronger.
It's also his shape, you know, he's got a proper boxing stance. He's wide, he's got his shoulders broad. I think that Jonatas could look a lot bigger if he was fighting bigger.
Yeah.
He's a smaller fighter fighting small, so you know what? I think it's official. Those are Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah. You heard it there. He's taking it back now.
Yeah. I'm taking it around the corner. We had to define what it was going to be. I gave him the best possible answer at the beginning, and now he's earned those Mickey Mouse ears. But there's still some time left. We saw, you know, Justin turn it in the very last round and change the momentum of the fight. So
I don't think he has
fight left if you're not building on anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're telling Jonatas in the corner, but it better be put that jab out front and get ready to box, because I think that Joseph is looking for his first knockout tonight and is not going to be happy if he doesn't leave with it.
The ref might just be giving him a warning about his head.
That's exactly what's happening.
As well as Jonatas taking so many shots.
I mean, even when he's in the corner waiting, he's like leaning on the bar.
Yeah, like there's no offense, nothing coming from him actually. He's just deep in it now.
Yeah, I think he's just waiting for the right shot to take him out.
But he's not even giving shots at all.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's just the more Joseph falls in, the easier it will be for Jonatas to survive, you know, the rounds.
Yeah, I like the energy from Joseph. I like that Abercrombie is looking to make the fight, but to your point, that simple discipline of not falling in and not rushing could bring the kind of knockout that he's looking for. And he's playing right into Jonatas' hands in the fact that he's able to tie him up when he falls in on shots. And even though there's no offense coming back, I don't see really Joseph taking advantage of all the opportunities that he has. If he kept the stick going and kept the pressure on, there'd be nowhere for Jonatas to go.
100%.
You could just dishearten him with just jabs.
Literally.
Yeah. And so right now I believe it should be going downstairs. He's like headhunting, he's looking for a big shot, but look how wide open the body is.
Even a jab to the body right now would do some good damage.
That's exactly right.
That's a good head move, but it's nice to settle this round.
Yeah. Coming off of what you said, Raheem, with him just headhunting, a lot of these away fighters, they can actually take a lot of shots to their heads.
Yeah,
they're very tough. So it's always a good start to break the body down first and then start going upstairs.
And bring those hands down. I mean, you know, right in the middle, right in the solar plexus.
Yeah.
Hit him with something stiff and see if he can catch a breath.
Yeah.
But it's just there. He's giving him that breather. When he falls in, he landed a good right hand and then fell in right after it. He just needs to land that right hand, come back, and then go downstairs, like you're saying, straight round to the solar plex.
That's all to do with the feet. Being able to...
His feet are in good place, but he just... I don't know what it is. I don't know. I can't put a finger on it, because...
You know, while Joseph Abercrombie is at the moment just touching, I think this is a good sign that he's settling down and getting into the rhythm of the fight. And as I said earlier,
that was better.
There you go.
And that was just from touching and looking and seeing what's available. But again, there on the ropes, he gives his opponent that breather as well.
Yeah.
And that's what you can't do, especially when you don't have 10 rounds. You got to keep the pressure on when you're in a fight like this.
It doesn't need to be that close. That little step back and then go to the body. Doesn't need to tie him up.
But like you said, Raheem, you can hear his corner there even shouting out distance. So
right. He's giving us a little wink. I think he's comfortable having a bit of fun in there.
Oh, we need to see some Braveheart, you know? This guy's trying to take your freedom.
Your freedom of not getting a KO.
Down.
Now, I would like to see some real crisp combination punching from Joseph Abercrombie. Even if he's catching on the gloves, if Jonatas is catching on the gloves, like we said, he's punching through the guard. So I wouldn't throw one punch unless I'm going to throw three with this particular fighter. Because nothing's coming back. He's there to be hit. The body's wide open. So every time he throws something, at least throw two more after it. Yeah. And that would break him down. Stop looking for the head. Go for what's open. Jonatas takes a step forward. Like right now, bang, bang, bang.
Should be in his face, yep.
That's it. And look at that. It staggers the stance. It makes Jonatas recover. Even on a shot that doesn't even quite get there, Jonatas just doesn't have any shape.
How's Jonatas still smiling, beckoning to come on?
And listen, to your point, some of these journeyman type of fighters from these other countries, they like getting hit in the face.
Look, he's starting to liven up, bouncing around as well.
Maybe I was funny. That's why I'm hitting him like Justin.
You know, and nothing that Abercrombie's done this far, I don't think, has hurt Jonatas, and that's why he's smiling. Because he can take the shots that he's getting, and those combination punches that should be thrown by Abercrombie, I think would wipe that smile off his face, especially if they started downstairs and then found their way upstairs. That's a low blow there,
yeah,
but I think it's out of frustration. Another thing I don't like that I'm seeing from Abercrombie is he's making himself small against the smaller fighter. Like, keep fighting tall, keep fighting long, be the bigger man, and dominate in there.
Impose yourself, for sure.
But for example, just like he threw that jab, if he is getting small to find that jab upstairs, I can accept that. But you're right, he doesn't need to be smaller than the smaller man.
And to your point, maybe he's getting crouched down there to bring the guard of Jonatas down so he can come over top. But the way you bring the guard down is punch down there. Don't put your head down there. And it fell right in on his shot. To your point, I don't understand. I don't understand that instinct.
Jonatas seems to find something funny. I'm not sure what it was. He just started busting up in the middle of the round.
Now that's that. Again, right out of frustration.
That was on the bell. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that follow-up shot. He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. You're right.
Wow, maybe Jonatas might make it to the end of make the final bell.
Yeah, but I just think that's all through Joseph's own mistakes kind of thing, just pulling in and letting him find breathers here and there.
Yeah, Joseph's giving him a way out. When this fight began, we thought that there was no way we'd see the 6th round because Joseph had the opportunity to be so dominant. If he had not fallen in on his shots and stayed patient from the beginning, worked the body, there's no way we'd be right here right now. And I think that is why you're seeing a smile from Jonatas, because he's like, I didn't think I was going to see the 6th round either.
Yeah, you might be right. And I think he's warm to his power, because obviously early on Joseph had enough pop to kind of keep him tight and not want him to open up, but now he's kind of warm to it, and he's he's trying to fire back a little bit.
He knows what to expect.
Yeah, he knows what to expect.
It's not a surprise now, even if they are big shots.
Also, I think all night Jonatas has been open for the uppercut. Again, a nice way to set that up. Just something, touch him to the body, putting his head down, and then come with the uppercut. Either one of those shots might have changed this fight. I mean, just look how porous the guard is from Jonatas. If he's not giving his body up, he's giving his chin up right up the middle. And even when you hit him with the hook, his own gloves are hurting him. I mean, like, what else do you want? I'll tell you what, I didn't see the first 6 fights from Joseph Abercrombie, but if he gets back to the locker room without a knockout tonight, he's gonna be regretting not having taken the opportunities that he had in this fight.
Yeah, like I said, I watched his last fight and I thought, you know what, he just needs more rounds, because he seemed like, he needed someone where he breaks them down in longer rounds. But again, like you said, in this fight, he's missing the opportunities.
Yeah, he's a little bit too concerned with us, too. I mean, like, if you're going to be smiling, licking your tongue out, you're going to be putting on a Mayweather-style performance. I got to tell you, this guy hasn't even hit the canvas one time. I don't want to see any celebrating until
sure.
You know what I mean?
And one thing about prospects as well, you have to differentiate yourself from all the other up-and-coming fighters, and you do that by putting on spectacular performances, knocking people out, because that's what people remember. No one does remember your 6-rounders and your 4-rounders,
And nobody gives a rip about your funny faces or you looking your tongue out. It's 6 fights in now. This is when you start making these statements. You can't let these guys survive.
For sure.
I think he's just one of those guys. Shaq's been one of those guys that just enjoys fighting, no matter like who it is. Like win, lose or draw, he just wants to fight. If that makes sense.
So maybe,
I do agree with what you're saying. Like
maybe that's why we've gotten 6 rounds, because he just wants to fight 6 rounds.
No, I ain't heard of anyone. if they can end it in the first second, I'm sure everybody would.
He knows he doesn't get paid by round, right?
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily time to use your feet. I think it's time to use your hands.
Yeah.
For those who can't hear,
but now Jonatas has come forward. He's changed the pace of the fight. So it's like,
He's just walking in the shots. There it is. I mean, right on cue.
Yeah, that was Jonatas' best punch of the fight.
This is the second fight where I've seen the fighter who's not wanting to engage tricking the fighter who could be dominating the fight into getting more defensive than necessary. If I was Abercrombie, I wouldn't be evading anything with my feet. I mean, I would be welcoming this invitation that Jonatas is offering at every round and just punch him wherever you see an opening. And what are you moving for at all? He's coming to you with nothing. There you go. He
just did a little tippy tappy.
He did a little tippy tap. That's the most movement I've seen from Jonatas in the whole fight.
And that's one thing you don't want to have your opponent doing at this stage of your career. You want them to be scared, like, oh my gosh, I do not want to get back in the ring. Do you know what I mean? You want to give them that sense of fear. And I think Jonatas is, he's comfortable.
Yeah, and you see here in the replay that Abercrombie is measuring him with that left and trying to really create an opportunity for the right hand by holding Jonatas in place, where really he would get more leverage out of that jab instead of just holding him in place. Popping.
Like he's a head and body with a jab. Head and body with a jab. Just he peppered with a jab.
Jonatas is the kind of fighter that you can punish if you are disciplined
100%
and patient.
Yeah, that was a lovely
there it is.
That was a good start.
And that was, again, from distance. Lovely 1-2.
From distance.
But now Jonatas knows this is the last round. He's just going to, pull it. He's going to leave it all in the ring. In the first three, he there was no bounce in his step.
No, not at all.
Right.
You're right, though, Raheem. That uppercut's so...
it's
so available, and Joseph hasn't thrown... I don't think he's thrown one.
It's the kind of thing that I just can't keep mentioning because I'll get upset and then I'll go in the corner and be like, excuse me, mate, I got something to say. Like, the way these body shots are just left on the table are so difficult to see, like, especially from a fighter who I do think has the pop. I mean, again, I don't know why there hasn't been any knockouts from Joseph yet, except that maybe these opportunities are being missed and left on the table because he's got some snap on his shot.
He has got snap. He's got good pop in his shots. Oh, Jonatas just showboating a bit.
Yeah. And he landed a nice overhand right.
It is the last round. It's true.
He's got plenty of energy. He hasn't thrown a shot in 2 rounds.
It's true.
And there's the uppercut. Nice little short uppercut. And for some reason, he decided to fall in and tie up after that.
That's the only thing I don't like about his work, the way he falls in. When he's at that distance, he's popping that jab and he's letting his hands go. And obviously more body work I'd like to see. But
it looks like he's found the uppercut now. It might be a little bit too late to, get the knockout that he's desiring. But he found it.
Keep the lead hand busy.
Yeah. He's funny. He acts like he's coming to do something, but he just makes your opponent look like, okay, I'm coming, but he's not really doing anything.
I'm coming, but I'm not staying.
And then Joseph just backs off when really Jonatas isn't even going to throw anything. He's just walking forward.
Yeah, there'll be some tape to review on this. But again, we're early in fighters' careers. They're learning. They're figuring out where they've left opportunities on the table. And also understanding where their strengths are. I think one of the things that I would like to see from Abercrombie next time out, again, is to just fight tall and to fight long. He's a big guy. He's got long arms and snap on that jab. You should be utilizing it. And don't let your opponent dictate what kind of fight it is.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely.
You've got Jonatas here just holding the center of the ring. For what reason? I don't know why.
In the 6th round of all, like how you pulling this off is because he's baited Abercrombie into making the fight the style that Jonatas wants. Oh, I missed something. What are you chuckling about over there, Bentley?
No, just the way Jonatas is just busting up in the ring is just making me laugh. I'm just thinking of that. I don't know why he's on.
And there's another shot after the bell.
Yeah, I think
now we go.
Oh,
the fight's going to start now? Is this what we're doing? Yeah, I think, it's frustration is a difficult thing. You wanted to do more. You wanted to get a knockout. The guy's been playing. And I think that Jonatas did what he came here to do, unfortunately.
He did.
Survive, not get hit too hard, not get hurt.
And then just let you know that he's there in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah. And
but in the first 3 rounds, he didn't want to be in there.
And the difference between a fighter who is a star and a fighter who is just very good is you don't let guys survive, even when they're skilled at survival.
Yep. I can agree with that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to, by the way, insist on him taking his hair down. Because after Puffs or Mickey Mouse ears,
I think
neither
he
is required.
I think he deserves them. The toughness. He showed it with the toughness.
Now, we're getting a man bun. I want that in a man bun by the end of the night.
Man bun, fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we go to your referee scorecard. Referee Amy Pugh scores the contest 60-54 in favor of your winner, Braveheart Joseph Abercrombie.
An interesting bout coming up. I'm kind of looking forward to what this matchup brings. We've got a 13-0-1 Ozgul against Liam Forrest, who's 3-0. So in a fight like this, I can't tell, how good Liam Forrest might be to be in a fight with a fighter who has 14 fights on his record and only his 3rd fight. But again, Forrest is undefeated. So these are the kind of clashes where I'm always excited to see who's bringing it. Because 2 undefeated fighters, no matter at what level, they want to keep that
pressure on him to make sure he knows that.
In a fight where you're matched against a guy who's got 14 fights on his belt, you're only...
I knew if he come forward, he'd just come all night. So I thought I'd just stop him at these tracks the first round and then go on as a round go on. That's the first 6 rounder, so obviously I had that coming up and a lot of things going through my mind. Can I do the 6 and whatever, but I trained very hard for it. I knew I could do the 6 and I did, I got through it and to push on now and keep going and fighting the 12th of April in Bournemouth in 3 weeks' time after this fight, and then just keep active now and keep in the gym, and that's it. That's what you can do.
You started really fast in there. The first few rounds you were absolutely blazing and it looked like you were absolutely enjoying yourself as well, and that was so key to see. What was some of the advice that John was giving you when you were going back to the corner between rounds?
Well, he said he obviously is a tough opponent, so he said use your boxing skills. He said obviously if you can hurt him, he said, you know when you're hurt him anyways. When he starts tucking up, he said tap to the body. He said and just let your shots go, do you mean? He said but left hook, right hand, that's what you're catching with all night. And that's what I done. I tap to the body, left, right, and that's it. Every shot counted. And that's what made him think about it and think, okay, got a big puncher with me. I probably don't look like it, but I'm quite a big puncher, do you know what I mean? And when everyone has bars, I hurt him. That's the truth. But I thought I could get him out there, but I knew he was a tough opponent and he'd been with a lot of high-level fighters, so I just kept pushing and got the 6 rounds. That's the main thing.
John, Joseph has got such a huge amateur pedigree. You can see that he's such a talented boxer. As he mentioned, tonight was his first 6-rounder, and he's mentioned a few fights that he's got coming up. But what's the plan for the rest of the year with him?
Well, I think it's opponents like that to build him up. We choose him, he's a very tough man. If Joseph, look at his record, he's not had an easy fight, and we want more of that. More learning, frustrating him a little bit, and we're learning. A great opponent, great performance for his first 6 rounds. So that's the plan. Another 2 or 3 of them this year, maybe 4. With this crowd, maybe 5. Look at the support he got. Thank him.
Do you have a message for the supporters in here? You've got such a huge support in the building tonight.
Yeah, I think everyone was coming out tonight. It's been a hard working money. Thank everyone. Come on, keep going. Let's keep going.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Go on, thank you.
It's the one and only Go Double G. You know the West Coast is back for all you suckers. Put something in there. Put it in there. Yeah. Stop. Y'all fight them all. Yeah, I'm burning it up. GPGC, you should be turning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live on FightZone and we're set to go with a 6-round special attraction in the super middleweight division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome Forrest. And now entering the arena, it's Little Mike under Ozgul.
I'm in control. Hypnotic, gonna see a couple shots of Patron. I ain't feeling nice. I get your eyes okay. Party pop services.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all set to go for our next bout of the evening. Mark Neilson of Neilson Boxing in association with John Trethewey of TM14 Promotions present 6 rounds in the super middleweight division. The action is sponsored by Gladius, Allegra, and JJ Crump and Son. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Nigel Thomas. Timekeeper of the bell is John Smith.
Who's 13-0. I wonder what the 3-0 fighter is bringing and where the confidence is coming from.
Yeah.
You have to wonder, okay, which one of these guys is on the rise?
Well, I think it comes from the fact that Onder hasn't fought in a long time. He's not been the most active. He had his debut in 2014. We're in 2025 now. So, you know, it's probably the prospect thinking, let me take advantage of the more experienced fella who, in his eyes, probably is on the way down. But, you know, me and Denzel, we're from the same gym as Onder, and we see how hard he trains. We know he's still got a lot to offer, so it might be something where they've miscalculated ring.
Yeah, well, it's taken on a strong challenge, and I like to see that early in a fighter's career. I mean, with only 3 fights under your belt, I don't know that I would pick this type of opponent. So it shows confidence, and to your point, he wants to make a statement tonight.
Yes.
You're right. I think I've got to give Forrest a lot of credit for taking this, especially on, you know, this is his 4th fight. But anyone that knows Ozgul, he's a handful, and you've seen it now.
He really
in the first minute of this fight. He's a handful.
Definitely.
I mean, he was fighting like a proper bear.
Like what you were saying, like what you were saying in the first fight. You just be rough and tough and hit him anywhere.
That's what I like to see, and you can tell that Forrest is coming in to kind of use a more technical approach, right? He's not winging punches, he's not falling in, he is doing what we kind of wanted Abercrombie to do. He's fighting tall, working his jab, and taking the opportunities, but it looks like he's gonna have to get the respect of Ozgul, otherwise it's gonna be a mauling night, which it appears that he settled Ozgul down a little bit. He's not quite as aggressive as he was at the opening bell, and he's making him.
Who get aggressive again?
Forrest is making Ozgul follow him, which is, I think, something you need to establish early. That I'm not just going to be here when you rush in and try to maul me.
Ozgul folds with bad intentions as well.
Yeah, he's busy. He's going to keep you busy if you want to stay out of harm's way. And not knowing what these first 14 fights were like from Ozgul, I'm imagining you don't want to get into an exchange with this guy.
I don't think there's anything scarier than fighting someone with nothing on their shorts. No,
and black.
It's just black. It's just black.
No sponsors, nothing.
No
I just
name,
want shorts.
That's all he wants you to see at the end of the night. Black.
That's it. And also Liam's facing someone who's, I would say, in my eyes, is frustrated. He hasn't been out much. He hasn't, you know, been active like I mentioned. And I think this is his opportunity to, you know, look, I'm here, I'm back. And he wants those opportunities.
And you would think a guy that hasn't been out in a minute, maybe he's got some ring rust, maybe I can take advantage of his timing being off or his conditioning not being there. But the last thing you want to see is a guy who's just hungry for a knockout and can't wait to get back to the action. And that's so far what we're seeing from Ozgul. And we've seen some good technique already from Forrest. So this is going to be a nice matchup. Like they say, styles make fights, and these two styles are definitely meant to clash.
For sure. Who did you give that round to, Raheem?
That's a tough one. I would have to still go Ozgul because I think I'm a guy who's pressing the action. And he was landing some good punches. They were ugly, but they were landing. And he was controlling the action. There was some moments in there where I thought that Forrest was beginning to dictate. But again, the close of the round was Ozgul again. So that round goes to him for me.
I agree.
We couldn't have a more contrasted shorts experience. Now I can't stop seeing it. Like there's so much happening on Forrest's shorts.
He's got the checkered patterns. He's got about
everything.
How many badges? How many sponsors?
I think he might be trying to give Ozgul a seizure.
One thing about Onder is I don't like it when he goes backwards. He's best when he goes forward and he's making the fight and putting the pressure on, even if he's not landing. Just landed a lovely.
That is a difficult right hand to absorb. He landed flush, and Ozgul is doing exactly what he wants to do in there. I don't think he is worried about what's coming back. Another big right hook. Coming right behind the guard of Forrest, who's going to have to move his feet. Like, he can't get stuck in the corner with a fighter like this.
But Onder also has to be mindful of what's coming back as well. He's leaving himself very open, swinging a lot of hooks.
Forrest still hasn't gotten his respect. Ozgul goes in there expecting to be hit. You have to get his respect. You have to make him think about getting hit. And right now, it's not even on his mind. He's just thinking about what punches he can land. And whatever comes back, he's fine with.
Jeez, these hooks are... These hooks are...
Yeah, when the fighter has his back on the rope and backs you off, the fight's not going the way you want.
No.
I think Forrest is going to have to find a way to let that right hand go and land some heavy shots to make Ozgul think twice before stepping forward.
For sure.
Right now, Ozgul's just too comfortable.
And
that's an incredible left hook to the body. That's what I like to see.
I feel like Onder's drawn Liam into his kind of fight now.
Yeah, but credit to Forrest for standing in there right now. And you see what I mean? He just got some respect right there by not moving back and landing a nice clean shot and making Ozgul move. And now we're not seeing quite as much action from Ozgul while he's on the ropes. Yet again, one shot backed him up, though.
That shot backed him up. Wow, what a fight.
What a fight. What a matchup of styles.
One thing Onder's doing very good as well is he starts downstairs and then goes upstairs. And that's what leaves Forrest open because he drops down and then the head is open.
Yeah, Forrest needs to be very mindful of that bolo shot. Coming from the top. You won't see it coming. It'll hit you right on the temple and somebody will be waking you up in 10 seconds.
Jeez, what is the punch count from Onder? It's only the second round.
To know. Yeah, I think these guys are making up for the punch count of the first two fights combined.
Lovely hooks from Onder, and he's turned him onto the ropes.
I mean, this fight could have been higher up the card because everyone deserves to see this. This is good value for money.
But that's what I love about a show like this. You never know which fight is going to steal it and which fighters are going to come to be stars on the night. Tonight, either one of these guys can be the star of the show. You just don't know.
Yeah, that is also true.
Everybody's hungry. Yeah, we got to give some credit there to Forrest's chin in this round. Also, his body, kind of pop Forrest really has. You know, this is the kind of thing why it really is a credit to him to take on a challenge like this, because you've got to be very sure in what you can do offensively against a fighter who is this aggressive like Ozgul. And now we're seeing it. Combination punches. But you can't just let him walk straight to you. He's not even making Ozgul cut him off. Ozgul's just walking him down. And that jab from Forrest might be able to stem the tide of this just Ozgul walking him down.
Yeah.
You can't let him just walk to you with nothing in his face.
Good throw to the body from Ozgul.
Well, now this seems like an eternity since a punch has been thrown with the action we've seen in this fight so far. That's the kind of show you want.
This is
There
good.
it is. A very, very nice right hand over the top. But I believe you want to follow a shot like that up.
When he gets caught with the left hook there by Ozgul.
There it is. Because you're waiting. You're waiting and resetting and getting Ozgul a chance to throw something and start the action.
Cheeky shot there from Ozgul.
Because he's having fun. I don't even think that was a shot with any kind of bad intentions. He was like, hey, this is exactly where I want to be and what I want to be doing. You know?
But
that was like a black back slap of a pal. Hey.
But yeah, it's true. He just punched the snot out of his nose.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
there
good
it is.
shots there from Forrest.
And those were set up by nice, crisp jabs.
It was.
It's the jab that Forrest needs to put in play right now to get him a bit of distance and control of the action. Right now, he's just not controlling the action. He leaned into a nice uppercut. That right uppercut was there waiting on him.
Oh, good shots again from Ozgul.
Yeah. The jab, get back on the jab, man. Forrest needs it right now. Settle this fight down.
Do you know what? You're right, Raheem. He needs to really settle him down with that jab. Otherwise, Ozgul's just going to keep coming forward and keep throwing punches.
And every time they're inside, I'm just not seeing any kind of action from Forrest that's able to stem the time.
Yeah.
He needs to figure out either how to fight inside or how to stay outside.
Yeah, one of the two.
He's getting the worst of it.
And he's finding it hard to do both. When he's on the outside, Ozgul's just walking him down, and when he's fighting inside, Ozgul's still training back. It's hard to keep him off with. He's throwing some good shots though, Forrest. But Ozgul's throwing the cleaner shots back. It's just
the more hurtful
shots. Yeah.
And when Forrest lands, wow, nice crisp right hand.
This is action
been set up here.
I believe I just counted 6 jabs, none of which landed flush.
Well,
I mean, credit for the throwing of the 6 jabs, but you'd like one of them to find their way home.
Well, Onder does love Mike Tyson.
Oh, a big overhand right to close the round from Ozgul. And the jab, I've been calling for him, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that that's not what he should be throwing. But you've got to land at least 1 out of 6.
Yeah.
And if they're not landing, then get some distance. Because he did make Ozgul move his head. He wasn't throwing back Ozgul, when he was avoiding jabs. So at least that stems the action, right? That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But at that point, either get some distance or land something.
Yeah, you got to get some distance, or land something. You're right. I mean, after the first 2-3 don't land, you just better step back and then maybe try again. But
you
good head movement there from Ozgul.
You can't fall asleep right at the end of the round. Is what happened. He was Forrest was in the corner, I think, waiting on the bell. And right when the bell rung, he kind of fell asleep and let one good shot come over the top. And listen, if that shot had knocked him down, we'd be here in the couch. That was a legal blow.
That was a legal blow.
And even in a close round, you don't want to maybe let your opponent nick the round with a big shot like that.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. I would believe in the corner of Forrest, they'd probably be saying the same thing I'm saying about the jab, which is why he was so intent on keeping it out there, but keep it crisp.
Yeah, keep it crisp.
That's demoralizing when you get hit on the way out.
Literally. And he's only backing up because when he's throwing shots, Ozgul's movement on the ropes is so good.
Yeah.
So he's getting his courage, thinking, let me back up, and then he just gets copped to one on the way out.
And you'll remember at the start of this fight, I asked why a 3-0 fighter wants to fight a fighter with 14 fights on his record and 13 wins. That is the kind of challenge that shows you Forrest has confidence, but it's the reason why that's a dangerous thing to do, and we're looking at it right now.
And I've got to respect Forrest for taking this fight, but like Dan said, it might have been a miscalculated risk.
Right.
You're looking at someone that's 13-0, very aggressive, very, very strong, but he's coming to the end of his career. He's been a pro for 11 years within activity, hasn't boxed for 2 years. You can catch him on the way out and make it look good for yourself.
Right.
But also, on the other hand, Ozgul's frustrated that he hasn't been out in 2 years and he's been inactive, so he's unleashing all his frustration on Forrest right now, and we're seeing it.
Looks like he's been eating raw meat for 2 years, and now he's got a taste of his own kill.
And you got to remember who Onder's been in the gym with as well. He's around people who are top fighters, hungry fighters, experienced. So.
Now listen, we're long from this fight being over. That is a big shot. That's all. Hey, listen, we also have to respect the chin of Forrest.
No, for
He's
sure.
not just eating shots for no reason. He's eating shots because he's standing in there, willing to exchange, and believing that his own punches are going to be able to change this fight. And maybe he's right. Wow. Right now, the action is coming from both fighters, and maybe Forrest is finding a way.
Wow.
He's looking for something to work, and he found a right hand in there, and that's what you want. You find that right hand, and then get back to work.
Left hook.
The left hook coming from Ozgul right on the chin, and to be fair, it didn't phase Forrest. He stayed in the pocket.
I have to rate his chin, you're right.
You gotta rate it. And his medal. He's in there exchanging. He's not just eating shots. He's still in the fight, 100%.
100%. And he's fighting back. He's fighting back. Like, he's not just, trying to survive. He's trying to win still.
He believes.
He feels like he can still turn this around.
This is a great fight.
He feels like he's got as many tools in his chest as he has stickers on his trunks. That's a nice uppercut. That's what I like to see. Make Ozgul think about it.
Yeah.
Punch in between those punches. They're all winging shots, so you should be able to punch right up the middle.
Yep, through the middle.
And that's how you outclass a fighter like this. It's odd to say that about a fighter who's only got 3 fights on his record, but the style that you see from Ozgul is predictable.
It is,
And those are heavy shots, and you don't want to get hit with them, but you should know where they're coming from.
It's predictable, but it's overwhelming. In his mind, he's got to think too fast. Like, how do I get away from this? And I'm not sure he would have had the right sparring for this, because that's hard sparring. How many hard rounds you want your fighter to have? So it's very hard to prepare for a style like Onder.
And Forrest must be thinking, you know what? I have natural ability. I've got reflexes, and I know how to punch in between. And knowing how to do it and what to do is different than doing it in time.
That is true.
And this is what we're looking at. The timing's not there for Forrest yet, and he is being exactly what you said, overwhelmed. He's got to find his shots in between shots. That's what changes this fight. And we've all seen fights like this that can change with one punch. You can see the time change, and all of a sudden the younger man who thought he could do it finds a way before the final bell. So we're very much still in a very competitive matchup.
I think for Forrest, he shouldn't fight Onder's fight. He needs to tuck in and throw through the middle. He's throwing wide, as wide as Ozgul. Yeah. If he does tuck up, he's got to throw through the middle, uppercuts and straight shots, but he's throwing just as wide.
And that's reminiscent of what we've said of the first 3 fights, which is, do you find a fighter making you fight his fight?
Yeah.
Whether it be a defensive fighter who makes you move when you don't have to, or a slugger who makes you exchange when you don't have to.
Yeah, when you don't want to.
When you don't want to.
It's all easier said than done, because I've been in there with Onder sometimes, and you're like, geez, this guy just doesn't give you a breather.
He doesn't give you a breather.
And his hooks, he's got short arms, so his hooks land with precision.
Yep.
That's it. Now see, Forrest just gave away the distance.
Yeah.
He had the distance, he had Ozgul on the ropes, and he's able to dictate at that distance.
Yep. And he gave
to
it
your
away
point, having short arms and throwing winging punches only works if you're close enough.
Yep. And if you look how long Liam's arms are, like,
it's like he's got it now. Yeah. It's finally clicked for him.
But it might be too late. It's 5th round.
A big right hook from Ozgul, and Forrest stands up to it, but you can tell it registered.
Liam should definitely be keeping his hands up whilst he's backing off, because his chin is right there, his head's right there, and that's just only inviting a dirty overhand.
Yeah, to your point, this is not the kind of fighter, if you're inside where you shouldn't really be, you definitely don't want to back straight up. Because that's when you get caught with one of those winging hooks, and I've seen many a man go down from that shot.
Exactly.
It's the shot AJ got caught with Dubois in the first round. Backing off in straight line.
Yeah, good shot.
Big hook as you're going back, so
Now, as easy as it is for me to say, it's much harder to do, but this is when I believe the jab, a stiff jab, would change the momentum of the fight.
It could stop Ozgul in his tracks.
That's exactly right.
And although this has been such a great fight, but I think this is Forrest's best round. He's controlled the distance much better.
There
on
it
the
is.
outside.
And just don't fall in right now. Take a step back and stick back on the jab.
Yeah, this is
don't get
Forrest's best round
inside.
for me.
Boom. You're exactly. Yeah, I believe that's the case. And don't get cute. No time to get cute now. I mean, my goodness, you just got your makeup on. You're not that cute yet.
Even though you say it's his best round, for me, I still feel like Onder's landed the more cleaner, eye-catching shots. But yeah, I do believe Liam is more in his rhythm than in any other round.
There it is. Listen, I just seen a nice left hook.
That was a big right hand there from Ozgul.
Yeah. I see Forrest finding it, though. He set something up with a nice left hook. He wasn't able to capitalize on it, but I see him finding it. And this is where the tide could turn. In this next round, if Forrest can get back on his stick, back to what he was doing in round 6, this might be a round where he can get some really, really good action. I don't know if he's got time now to make up the distance on the cards, because I've got Ozgul winning this fight going away.
Yeah, so do I. I think he needs a knockdown or a knockout, but Ozgul is really tired. You see him on that stool, his legs are kind of giving way. He's really tired. He's got to stick in this last round, and the fact is,
I was just about to say, I'm not ruling out a knockdown. I think a knockout is a hard wish to grant, but I could see Forrest, if he comes right back to where he was when this round ended, getting a knockdown. It's certainly wishful thinking for the Forrest corner, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. Wow, what a fight this is.
What a fight. Yeah. And it does look like Forrest wants to pick up right where he left off, as does Ozgul, but Ozgul's not able to smother him just yet. There it is. That's right. Turn him and get back on the stick. That's what you got to do right there.
Good shot coming back. You could never rule out.
I mean, man. You know, but these punches are even getting wider and wider.
Yeah.
So they should be something you see coming. And if you can't get out of the way, you should be able to block it with a
That was a good, lovely shot to the body, and that's what I think he needed, that just to slow Liam down a bit.
Yeah.
You can see Liam's corner telling him to come forward, because that's where he's more effective.
Good shots again from Ozgul.
Yeah, because coming forward's been winning him the rounds. Yeah. He's got to stay on the pressure for the remainder of this fight. Yeah. And it's up to Forrest to find a way to stay out of harm's way while being able to mount an offense that's effective. This is what he's been looking for the entire fight. I think he found it in the second half of round 5, and he's got to get back to it for the remainder of round 6.
It's a good 1-2 from Liam there.
I mean, I heard the sticks, the 10-minute, 10-second six. For me, this has been a great effort from Forrest, but an Ozgul fight going away.
Yeah, I think so too.
That was a lovely overhand. 2 overhands.
Even this round, I mean, as Fatigue, as I said, he was coming out in this round. I think he's winning this round for me.
They're both tired.
They are both tired. They are both tired. They're both very tired. They put a lot into this fight. I mean, yeah, you can't fault them for that.
Listen, we're at a boxing match, so there's going to be a boxing scorecard at the end of this thing. Yeah. But what I like is when you have a boxing match and a fight on the same night. And this is what we've got in this fight right here. We can call the boxing match. We can also call the fight.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think
good right hand there from Forrest. Just caught Ozgul going back. But Ozgul's fighting back. He's throwing back. Both boys want this, and that's what makes it such an exciting fight. Both men want this.
I like the referee also. She's doing an incredible job. She's not interrupting the action unnecessarily. A lot of referees could get flustered in a fight like this and break them up and stop the action. And right now, she is in control here and doing exactly what she should be doing.
Ozgul is shattered. Just lifting himself off the ropes there.
But he only...
He's entitled to be tired, man.
No, for sure.
They put a lot of effort into this.
He only knows the gas pedal. He doesn't know how to back off, so he's going to leave it all out there. Yeah, and this is where you could get a knockdown if you can throw something real quick.
Good shot.
Wow, what a fight! Everybody performed incredibly well. And, you know, Forrest can be proud of his work tonight. Let's hear from him.
A draw tonight. How are you feeling with those scorecards?
To be honest, I'm pretty happy with how I performed, to be fair. I'm normally the aggressor, but tonight, being the aggressor just wasn't going to work, you know, against a mini Mike, you know. So, I mean, I tried the, you know, staying on the back foot, flicking the jab, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm 3-0. He's 13-0, you know. Not a lot of pros do that. You know, a lot of pros nowadays, they fight a lot of journeymen, you know, but I want to give myself a real test. And Onder was that real test tonight. And, you know, could have been better, could have won. It's a draw, but I've still got no losses on my record. So, you know, build that experience. If I was going to win tonight, there's a few names, I mean, I could have called out to get that chance, but there's a little bit more work to do in the gym, and then I want to get that win and then get on some bigger platforms, you know. But I'm really happy with my performance. Thank you to everyone that turned up tonight. Thank you to my sponsors, Your PDS, Green Plumbing, Prop Cut, The Rubbish Man, Smith Stills Fabrications, and Terry Godden. But yeah, thank you for everyone that's come and supported me tonight. Share the social media, because without you guys sharing, I won't get the chance. So yeah, big up everyone that came out tonight. Forrest Boxing, Peace Haven, that's my gym. Make sure you get a membership, sign up, and I'll show you some of them skills, maybe like the Ali Shuffle that I put in there tonight.
Liam, you know, Onder came in there, he threw everything at you. You know, he really came in with the kitchen sink. As you've mentioned, he calls himself Little Mike. You could see that in what he displayed this evening. Do you feel that towards the later end of the fight, you really figured out that timing and kind of got to grips with his style?
I'm a slow starter. I mean, a lot of my amateur fights, I lost the first round, but came alive in the later rounds. But to be honest, I felt like I was getting better as the rounds go on. You know, maybe I am suited to more rounds. So yeah, who knows? Maybe you could do more rounds next time. But yeah, we'll see. Go back to gym, see what my coach says. If there's a rematch on the lines, then whatever, I'll take it. So let's go.
A great test for you tonight. Really good to see you back in action. What's next for Liam Forrest?
Have a week off, eat loads of food, and then get straight back into the gym. Thank you to Adam Martin. Thank you to Paul Forrest who pushed me through the gym. Everyone that's at New Era Boxing Gym. Yeah, couldn't be here without you guys, so yeah, big up.
Congratulations.
Liam the Lumberjack Forrest! Get to know.
So we've got a fresh fighter coming in, Max Schultz. We're gonna see a young fighter making his medal here. I love, again, when you get talent in a fight card like this, there is so much talent on it, and you never know who's gonna be the stars of tomorrow and who you might be seeing for the first time. That'll be a major name down the road. So when these guys are making their debuts and they're 1-0, and even a guy like Liam Forrest who got away with the draw tonight, but will, I guarantee you, come back better and stronger the next time, having learned quite a bit from this performance. And Ozgul is, like you say, coming off 2 years out of the ring and putting on a performance like that. These guys are stars for me, and where the future leads them, we don't know. But tonight we got to see something special from both of them, and you never know who might be, for the first time, coming across our radar. Tomorrow we'll be holding world championship titles above their head.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So we're gonna bring the super lightweight in next, another 4-rounder. Do we know much about Max Schultz?
Yeah, I watched him box a couple months ago. I think he made his debut about 5 months ago. Under the same promotional company, and yeah, he was decent, young kid. I expect him to build on his performance last time, and looking forward to maybe seeing him getting his guy out of the ring.
Okay, yeah, we need some knockouts.
In the super lightweight division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome T-Flash Tatenda Mankombi.
niggas go. Black. Niggas.
And now entering the arena is Make Sure! Ready for our next bout of the evening, Mark Neilson of Neilson Boxing in association with John Trethaway of TM14 Promotions present 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. The action is sponsored by Gladius, Allegra, and JJ Crump and Son. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Des Reese. Timekeeper of the belt is Brett Bowles, and your referee is 8-star referee Kieran McCann. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in today at 10 stone, 6 ounces, wearing blue trunks. Taking part in his 15th contest this evening from Chatham, Kent, T-Flash to Tender Man Combi. And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner, he weighed in today at 9 stone, 12 pounds, wearing black and red. Undefeated in his only pro contest from Billericay, Make Sure.
Right, boys, listen up. You both know the rules. You'll obey my commands at all times. I'm going to tell you to break clean, take a step back, throw no punches. Mind your heads in close. Most importantly, lads, protect yourself at all times. Shake hands.
I believe that Max Schultz is going to come out and try to establish dominance from the very beginning, just because you can see sometimes the look in a fighter's eyes. And from Tatinda, I don't see bad intentions, which doesn't necessarily mean they're not there, but sometimes that's exactly what it means.
Yeah, we might get our first knockout of the night tonight.
Oh, he's landed some good shots already.
Yeah, I can tell you, sometimes you see a guy step through those ropes and you just look in his eyes and be like, yeah, he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
I saw that deer in the headlights look from Tintinda before the first bell rung, and hopefully he proves me wrong and we get a good mix-up, but thus far, I'm seeing after the bell what I saw before it.
Schultz is nice and sharp. He's popping that jab early, nice little lateral movement.
Yeah, he's being cautious. He's feeling it out, trying to find his range as he should be, not rushing. I think, again, he came out and immediately established some dominance with a nice 1-2 and is now confident that he's not overmatched. So he's going to take his time and work towards a victory.
Oh, nice shot from Max.
There are some fundamental mistakes right here being made by Tatinda Mangombe, and you just don't want to lean in with your hands down as a way of defending yourself. That is where you're going to get caught with nice short shots.
Coming off the back of you saying Tatinda coming into the ring, you know, like a deer in headlights. It's also important for the opposing opponent to see that as well, and from this jump just go in there with that mentality of I'm just going to take you out.
Yeah, you gotta have a game face on at the very minimum. You gotta make the guy think maybe this is gonna be a dangerous night for him, and see if you can find your way. Also, if Tinder is right there in your name, I believe you're gonna have to do something to intimidate the guy out the gate. You're already one behind the 8 ball.
Tatinda comes with these wild looping kind of shots that are a bit awkward, so Max has to be a bit careful there. Just got caught with a backhand.
Yeah, listen, we got to tell it like it is. They're not awkward. They're just not skilled. These are very amateur fight style, and he has zero defense, so he's just looking to wing something. And these guys, which we see often, I marvel at it because the heart has to be something tremendous. And every now and then, I've seen a guy wing a shot like Tintinda is throwing and do some damage. Because you're right, in the sense it's awkward for a fighter
conventional fighter who's used to straight shorts or a hook coming in a certain way.
These fighters are definitely they're harder to read.
Yeah.
That's right, but you're also going to need some power if you're going to do some damage.
100%,
And I'm not seeing either one from Tintinda. But, you know, again, it's only 4 rounds. And for Max Schultz, he's got to be conscious of winning every round and not getting caught with something just crazy. Something that he doesn't see coming and get hurt. However, I think you should be able to get a knockout if you're facing an opponent like this who isn't particularly skilled at defense, who doesn't seem to have much power and is winging punches. That's the trifecta for a knockout. And so what I want to see from these fighters, whether they be 1-0 or 13-0, I want to see some knockouts.
I agree with you.
I want to see guys, you know, closing the gap, throwing crisp shots, and getting guys out of there. We can't let these guys survive.
Yeah, no, you can't.
At this level, you got to make a name for yourself.
You have to separate, you know, the levels. You got to show that, okay, this guy doesn't deserve to be in there with me. He doesn't want to be in there, so I'm going to do him a favor and send him home.
That's right, Denzel. That's it.
And I did say this, and last time I did commentary, I said the prospects seem to be more skilled and they think more, but that you know instinct to just get someone out there is lacking a bit.
Right, and for the opponent, and
lovely
you know,
shot.
At this stage, I like to think everybody is an opponent because nobody comes in with such name recognition that they can't get beat on the night. Everybody's making a name for themselves. So I don't discount anybody until I see that look in their eye. And then they got to prove something to me. But with that said, it is necessary to know that you can't approach this like a day job. You can't approach this like, okay, I've got 4 rounds to work and then I get to go home and collect my check. You've got to come in here and think, I have to make a statement. And
for sure.
I think some guys come in, like you say, looking to survive, and that's enough. If you see that in your opponent, it's time to make a statement yourself.
100%.
Tintinda's balance is quite awful.
Yeah, he's like Bambi leg.
He's just not skilled, man. And, you know, I'm not even faulting him for that. I feel like, you know, maybe he's just trying his hand at something. And this is a poor man's sport. It's a tough way to make a living. And if you have the heart, you can get in there. So he's clearly got the heart. I've seen guys come in and lay down. You know, with this level of skill, nobody would ruffle their brow if we were already just looking at a 10 count. So you also have to credit this guy that he isn't just coming here to give it away. He's doing his best, and whoever's in his corner needs to make his best much better. Yeah, I mean, for Max's sake, you can't be getting hit with those big winging punches. That's crazy.
Like I mentioned, those weird overlooping angles, they're so hard to judge.
They're hard to read, It's like, when is it coming? And then it just lands.
Yeah, I'll give you that in the first round, maybe half of the second, but beyond that, you know.
Got to kind of adjust. He's got some shots in between, though, but...
There he is, yeah, he's looking for big shots.
Gombe's tough.
A lot of these kids from, you know, the third world countries, and they are.
It's true, though.
They're tough.
Like you said, it's a poor man's sport.
I mean, listen, that's a hell of a shot to stand up to. A clean left hand right up the middle and stand right in the pocket. It's got heart, man. And I don't know Tintinda's backstory, so I won't assume, but a lot of these guys are coming in there and fighting for their meal. They're in there like, this is what I can do to make money, and I've got to eat, and my family's got to eat, and I'm going to get as much money out of this game as I can, and I respect that as well. Again, a guy who doesn't come to lose, I don't give him any stick about it. But if you're overmatched like Tintinda is, it's on Max
yeah.
Schultz to get him out of there.
Yeah.
And if he didn't, if Tintin didn't come to lay down, then it's on you to prove that you can separate yourself from these guys who just don't have the acumen.
Yep, that's very true. I agree with that.
I mean, I'm looking at Tintin in his corner, and he actually looks more confident now than when the fight began. Like he's
warmed to it a little bit.
And this is something that Max will learn because he does have skills. I can see that this Max Schultz is trained well, that he's got skills and he's working a technique.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have a future in this game. But you will learn not to let guys like Mangambi get confidence.
Yeah.
You will learn to break them down immediately.
And sometimes that can have an effect on you when you're going in there, you're putting on what you believe to be a show, and your opponent is getting more and more confident.
That's it. You start questioning yourself,
yeah,
like, why
exactly.
is this guy getting more confident?
Yeah.
How come it's harder to hit all of a sudden? All of a sudden, these shots are coming a little straighter
Yeah.
because Mangambi is starting to believe in himself.
Yeah.
Starting to think, well, maybe I can do something in here. I mean,
And
you
he's actually
just
coming
can't
forward,
allow that.
Yeah.
You have to be able to punch in between those punches. And right now they're playing the seesaw. My turn, your turn, my turn, your
yeah.
turn. And Max Schultz should not be allowing that. It should be his turn all
the time.
night.
Yep.
I call that the Rocky scene, you know, in the old school Rocky movies. They always used to punch one after the other, like it was never...
never in between at the same time, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, good shot.
But
there
with
from
all
Schultz.
due respect, Mangambi ain't Apollo Creed.
No. Or Mr. T.
Well, nah, if he was Mr. T, we'd be like, wake him up.
Yeah.
I miss Mr. T, you know? I'm glad you got a shout. Shout out to Mr. T.
For sure.
Look at that. Okay, now that little crisp uppercut was thrown by a fighter who believes in himself.
Yeah.
This guy is starting to think, maybe I can mix it up. And he's still taking some hellacious punches from Max Schultz. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to be him. But I can see that he's more and more feeling like he wants to be himself in there.
Yeah.
And might have an opportunity to make a statement on the night himself. He's already doing much better than he believed he could do when that first bell rang.
Definitely. When he came in, he was more timid and he wasn't himself. And like he said, you know, he's grew like, okay, you know what? I'll take these shots, but I'll give him some back.
That's right. In the beginning of this fight, Mangambi was fighting Schultz off. Now he's fighting Schultz.
Yeah. He's holding the center of the ring. He ain't backing up too much.
That's it. And he's still taking some clean punches for his trouble. But as you said, he's standing in there and landing a couple. And I'm not seeing quite as these big winging shots as I was seeing before. Like, they're starting to straighten up.
Yep.
They're finding their target. Look at that. Putting his hips behind it. Oh. Look at that. Look at that. We're watching this guy become a man in front of our eyes.
And he's doing the same thing. He double jabs backhands, and I think that's something Max should pick up on.
All right, get out of the way, referee. Yeah, referee, you know what I mean? I don't like when they anticipate the bell. Let it happen.
Let it happen.
We need all the seconds in these 3 minutes. And something like I said in an earlier fight, when you see the tide turning, it gets fun.
Yes.
Look at these replays. This is, look, I saw a big left hand from Schultz land clean, and it snapped Mangambi's head back, but it didn't stop his feet from moving forward. And that's how you know the kid's got heart.
Yeah.
He's still willing to trade and believes in himself that maybe he can land that one glorious miracle punch that gets his hand raised at the end of the night. This is the kind of fight that is moving fast. We're already entering the 4th round. And in the first 2 fights, when the fighters were defensive and tucked up, they were slow. But this fight moves because you're seeing the tide turn.
Yeah.
You're watching a narrative happen. Even if Mangambi ends up not being successful, there is something about this night that will be special for him because he did better than he believed he could do.
Did better than we all thought he could do.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. As he probably heard what I said about his name, and he's like, you know what? You know what?
Let me show him something.
We're not having that.
Oh, a lovely left hook backhand.
Still in there.
Wow.
I don't know how he took that shot and his looks still on his feet.
And you know what? For all I said about
lovely backhand again.
I mean,
yeah, this is a good time to
tie up.
to tie up for Makumbe and for Max to just let his hands go, because I'm pretty sure he was stunned there.
I think because he was already off balance from the first round, that's just how he is. He's not going anywhere. Good shots. Shots is finding home now.
Yeah, especially with that right hook.
But Mangombe's just
straight
fighting
shot
back.
look again.
I think Max has got a little taste of the highlight reel, and he's willing to walk through Mugambe's shots. Now you see a more seasoned fighter would know
good shot
to get close and tie Max up, because you could do that. You know?
Yeah, of course. It's the last round, you know, just let time waste, get a breather.
Make sure you don't touch canvas.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm the guy who's screaming for knockout, so that's the way to not get knocked out. But you know, this kid made me a believer. Like, I want to buy him a drink after the fight. Look at that, nice shot. That's the kind of thing you're proud of. You show your girlfriend that when you go home. You don't show her the rest of the fight, but you're like, look at this one.
I think everyone just loves the underdog story.
Yeah, I love to see the tide turn.
Yeah.
Especially if they're trying hard. Like, he's trying.
He really is. He doesn't just come to dance around and survive. He's actually fought, which I give him credit to.
Yeah.
But I also like how Max has come out in this fourth round, because he's actually trying to take him out.
And a lot more intent.
Yeah.
And there's two narratives here. First, of course, we're going to give Mugambe the credit for having the heart to step through the ropes in the first place. Anybody who's willing to be in there when that first bell rings is a fighter. But it's down also to Schultz allowing Mugambe to get this much confidence.
Yeah.
If he had been crisp and sharp and on his game, pressure fighting from the first round, I don't think we'd see this fight coming out of Mugambe like this. We'd have seen a knockout. And now he wants to hear that final bell. He knows he's not going to win this fight, but this is a moral victory for him. This is something that he'll never forget that he was able to do when nobody thought he would see the final bell at the first bell.
Wow, how many
Look at this.
shots
He's landing the last punches, you know what I mean? Credit to these guys.
Wow, credit to these guys.
Credit to both of them. That was a
He showed that he is a skilled fighter. He went in there using technique, and let's hear from him now.
How are you feeling?
Feel great. You know, I came in on late notice, but I got the job done. I was trying to get him out of there, but it was a tough opponent.
Yeah, you're right. You came in at late notice. How important is it to stay ready, stay in the gym, so when these phone calls happen, you can show up?
Well, I'm in the gym 6 days a week, so there's no point in me not fighting.
Your opponent, you know, he was a tough guy, tricky angles in there, but in that last round, he took some really, really hard shots off you. I'm surprised he made it to that final bell. What was some of the advice coming from the corner?
To put it on him and get him out of there.
Those 4 rounds that you now have under your belt, you know, you had a punch-perfect debut in October. What would you like to do next?
Get a knockout.
Short and sweet with the words, I like it. Congratulations on your win tonight. We look forward to seeing you back in action.
Thanks for that.
A class representation of a fighter who's got skill to be able to be disciplined and not rush, not foul, not do things that made the fight ugly because he was...
Indigo, we're live on FightZone and we're set to go with a 6-round special attraction in the lightweight division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome El Tyson Alexander Morales.
When it's harder to get knockouts, so credit to the matchmakers.
Definitely, that's Ed.
It's the instigator, Sonny Henty. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next bout of the evening. Mark Neilson of Neilson Boxing in association with John Trethewey of TM14 Promotions presents 6 rounds in the lightweight division. The action is sponsored by Gladius, Allegra, and JJ Crump and Son. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Des Reese. Your timekeeper at the bell is Brett Bowles, and your referee is Amy Pugh. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in today at 9 stone, 8 pounds, wearing black with pink, taking part in his 22nd contest this evening from Guadalajara, Mexico, El Tyson Alexander Morales. And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner. He weighed in today at 9 stone, 9 pounds, wearing claret and blue. 7 fights, 7 wins, 3 wins inside the distance from Whitford, Essex. Please welcome the instigator, Sonny Henty.
Listen to my commands at all times. Watch your head, no low blows. When I say brace, step back. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Ooh, the glove touch was a little aggressive.
Yeah.
I like that.
The West Ham firm, they're always quite a bit aggressive.
Yeah, no, Sonny Henty is a very aggressive fighter.
Okay. Well, I gotta tell you, I don't know Alexander Morales, but his tattoo artist is aggressive. We're going to see
I've seen him
if it's
box.
warranted.
I've seen him box and he's quite tough. He's a tough away fighter, so.
Yeah, let's rate these guys. You know what I mean? It's like I can't even really tell what the tattoos are. That usually means they're dangerous. Now, right off the rip, right out the gate, you can see what a defense looks like for a guy who's looking for offense.
Yeah.
You know, Morales really hasn't thrown a punch yet, but just by the way he's defending, I see him looking over his gloves for opportunities. And Sonny hasn't given him any, so he hasn't thrown any shots yet, but I expect this to be a nice mix-up.
Yeah, you can tell the way, you know, he's watching and he's just seeing what Sonny's about.
That's right. That's exactly right. I think Sonny's doing well to not become overconfident because Morales hasn't thrown a shot yet. He's still finding range. That jab is crisp, and he's being defensively responsible.
And he's making Sonny think too, because Sonny's thinking, all right, he ain't throwing anything. He's just tucking up, taking my shots. I need to be careful in what I'm throwing as well.
Right, that's what I mean. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Sonny is being class in that sense.
You know, I've seen Hardy fight, you know, quite a few times, and this is the most patient and disciplined I've seen him be. Usually he likes getting in close and sometimes spoils his work, but he wants to get his shots off. Today he's just, you know, picking his jab, looking for openings, and keeping a good distance. I think I've seen some improvements that I'm happy to see. I mean, I'm not his coach or anything, but I am happy with his improvements.
But this is what comes from seeing guys move in cards just like this. You've seen him fight before. You're watching how he improves, what he learned from the last fight, and this is what I'm talking about. So all the fighters we've seen on this card, whether they're winners or losers tonight, they will come back better and stronger. If you keep following them, you'll see what they've learned and how they progress.
Definitely,
that's the beauty of club fights at this level. It might be said that, there you go. I was just about to say, counter-punching, if a guy really isn't coming back with any kind of offense, you start getting comedy and throw a 2 behind the 1, throw a 3 behind the 2, and see if you can bring him out of his bring him out of his hiding space.
I was thinking that Sonny's looking for a counter. You can see he wants to slip something and come back, but his opponent's not giving him anything, so.
I can't lie, I like Morales' swag though, the boots, the shorts.
You like a bit of pink.
Still.
Yeah, that was a class round from Sonny Hardy. I like the way he performed in that first round. Like, Morales wasn't giving him much of anything, but he did, Sonny, I'm saying, exactly what he should be doing in that situation. Felt him out fine. And if Morales opens up in the second round, I believe Sonny will be well positioned to counter because he was giving him a good measure.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 2.
I'd like to see Morales open up right from the gate here. That's what I like. The jabs now are being exchanged, and because Sonny in the first round found his range and was able to feel the distance out, he's able to dominate in the exchange of jabs. And you see the miss of that uppercut from Morales is due to him not knowing the range, and Sonny found his distance in the first round, so he's got the advantage. Nice hook to the body. That left hook to the body will pay dividends later. You see Morales' elbows out in front of him a little bit.
Yeah.
And so you can just punch right behind those elbows and really get some good work into the body.
Upstairs, Morales is quite tight. Like, it's hard to find an opening there, but like you just mentioned, his elbows are up high, so there's work to be done downstairs from Sonny.
Hardy's finding some good shots though from that distance. Oh, the combination there.
Yeah, when you have an elite level of skill, you can fight a first round like Morales did and then come out and know the distance and be able to punch right inside your timing. But without that level of skill, you're just going to be one round down trying to find it.
The difference in Morales opening up a lot more this round.
Right, because he has to.
He has to, yeah, he has to.
I was curious, though, to see if he was finding his distance while Sonny was finding the range, which is difficult to do. That's why I say you have to be an elite fighter to be able to make those calculations without punching. But, yeah, Morales has not been able to turn that corner. And so now the challenge for him is going to be to find something that works in between Sonny's busy action.
Catching and shooting really nice though. Little uppercuts coming through the middle.
And a backhand too. That was good. Ooh.
There it is. Something right in there. But can you do it again and again? Is that going to work? Or is it just a punch you landed?
Sonny's throwing a lot of lever.
Yeah, he's comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean to tell you, that first round was very important.
He needs to find that body though. That right hand round the body's open there.
Yeah, he's missing that. That shot right behind the elbow. That's a bit of a shot on the belt line.
I like how Sonny's constantly moving, his head shifting from one side to the other.
He's lining him up.
Yeah.
He's looking right down the sights. Another solid round. I'm very impressed with Sonny Hardy.
Yeah.
He's showing a lot of class in there. And it must be said, you know, Alexander Morales, man's got a teardrop on his cheek, so I don't know. I don't know if it's for boxing, but somebody got the business.
And Morales isn't coming in like your typical away fighter. Like he's quite aggressive. He's trying to find shots, and haven't seen him take the back foot once.
Yeah. Right. And he did work the body quite well that round as well, to be honest, Morales. He worked through some good body shots. Again,
we could see a momentum shift, although I don't see anything calculation-wise that's working for Morales. That it can be consistent. He's picking shots, finding a little bit of success, but nothing he can build on. I'm not seeing the building blocks.
I think his best chance of the momentum shift is if Sonny Hardy reverts back to type and just starts being, messing up his work and falling in and getting over-aggressive that we're used to seeing. But as long as he keeps it at this distance and boxes like he's boxing now, I can't see a momentum shift for Morales.
What you just described is ring generalship.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, this is what it means to control a fight.
Yeah.
When the only way a fighter can advance is if you stop doing what you're doing.
Good body shot from Morales there. Right up the solar plexus.
Morales is investing in the body though.
Yeah.
He's getting in the body. And he's standing in the pocket.
He is.
Good body shot.
Good shots there from Sonny Hardy.
Sonny should continue combination punching. I know Morales has had a little success punching between punches, but it keeps Morales' hands at home when Sonny keeps following up shots.
And that's why he needs to stay on that jab, not get too close there. He doesn't need to be there.
That's
just
exactly
everything off that jab, what he was doing in the first 2 rounds was lovely.
Yeah, he could keep Morales outside all night.
All night.
That's it. Now, you see, none of those combinations landed, but it kept Morales' hands at home. And as soon as he stopped punching, Hardy was still in range. So that's why Morales was able to counter. There you go. Don't stay in the pocket and observe your work. Do the business and get out and get back, reset, and do the business again. Little those shots from Morales straying a bit low on the hip.
I want to see how it affects Sonny Hardy moving forward, because Morales is investing into the body a lot. You can see the body of Sonny Hardy red. A lot of them are landing on the arms, but you can just see the body reddening up a little bit.
Yeah, and those shots, even on the arm, they still tire you out.
Yeah.
It makes it harder to hold your hands up, even
good
throw
shots
your
there from
shots.
Hardy though.
And also can take some mustard off of your punches.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
This is the Sonny Hardy. You see, that body shot hurt him.
Morales
That body shot hurt him. The left of the
twice
body.
in the solar plexus there.
Straight
as he was throwing.
Now, what Morales can do in this situation is that.
Good shot.
He could have waited an extra second for me to get it out.
But this is Sonny Hardy reverting to type now, getting into a fight. He was boxing lovely the first 2 rounds, but now he's just staying close and not moving after his work.
And you did say that would be the way the tide would turn if it did in fact turn.
Yep.
You see how Morales, he just digs downstairs, you know, when they're on the inside. He just keeps working downstairs.
When they exchange in close, there is a looping over the top bolo shot that's there for Morales.
There is.
He's got to take a lot of punches to get that opening, but it's there for him.
And that left
right
to the
over
body,
the top,
that left to the body is doing wonders.
And that's the shot I'm talking about.
That overhand right.
That overhand right over the top is his money shot tonight.
It is his money shot.
Morales ended that round very good.
He did end that round very well.
He's finding it.
No.
I'm not ready to say the tide is turned.
No.
But it's turning.
But the tide is out. Let's see if it can come back in.
This is the time when you want to see discipline from your fighter.
Yeah.
You know, get back to what you was doing good, you know, and don't fall into the other guy's fight.
And there's 2 shots that Morales has been so successful with. That left to the body as he steps at that angle, because it goes straight into the solar plex, and that right hand over the top that Raheem called earlier. Yeah. Those 2 shots there are doing him massive favors in this fight right now.
And you got to look for that left to the body too, because he's in so close and the shot's so tight, you could miss it. So you got to keep an eye out for it.
But you can also see by Hardy's reaction that he's feeling there.
Yeah.
Listen, it don't matter who you are. Everyone throws a body shot.
That's right.
He's better off stepping off a range and just getting back to his jab like he did in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Right there, just keep the jab in his face, keep that distance, keep him at that distance.
I would have liked to see Morales come out, go under the jab, and go straight hand to the body. Straight right to start this round. That was right there for him.
That's it, right there. Just keep him off that jab. Don't let him near you. The minute you tuck up and go close, you're playing his game.
Yeah, and you see Sonny rightly has settled down.
Yeah.
Working the jab again. Not getting lulled into exchanges. Because he's effective with the jab. And he can keep Morales' hands at home if he follows those jabs up, counter-punching. Or combination punching, I should say. There it is. Damn, no. Who was talking about the double jab earlier tonight? We haven't seen any double jabs since somebody mentioned it. That is what we want to see. He was missing something. That was it.
This is a much better disciplined round from Sonny Hardy.
Right, and when he does that, Morales has got nothing really.
Nothing. He's got nothing to work off.
That's it. I tell you what, Morales did just exchange jabs, but he's in so close, Morales, when he jabs, that Hardy should make him pay with an overhand right. That should be the immediate catch and counter.
Over the top,
Yeah.
There it is.
That's the one.
Lovely right.
What are they listening to tonight? They can hear you.
Oh. That was a bit of a sloppy uppercut, but you know that uppercut is there for him if he throws it. If he throws it crisp, it could change the fight. Yeah, Hardy I'm talking about. Because now, you notice Morales is standing up a little bit more because he's looking for offense up top. He's not crouching, so when he starts to lean into that crouch, if Hardy can counter him with an uppercut, nasty.
He's open for that.
Nasty work. That's good work. Good work from Hardy. Pivoting out, staying on the jab.
Don't get in close. Don't stay in close.
Right. Right there with no action from either fighter is a crime. There you go. Come on, get to work. That's the thing I never understand. Two fighters with their foreheads against each other, nobody throwing anything. Nice round, nice round.
Hardy took back that round.
Yeah, he took back that round.
Good
Yeah.
discipline.
He got back on. He got back to his discipline and
I think he might have caught a breather as well.
Yeah,
From the body shots from the prior
Yeah,
round.
you're right.
So
You're
this
right.
round he might come out a bit with more venom.
Well, if Morales has figured anything out, it's time to show us. Because, you know, if he doesn't do something this round to put Sonny on his back foot or to at least stop him from dictating the fight, the 6th round is going to be very difficult for Morales.
100%. If he puts this round in the bag, he's made the fight a little closer.
That's right. And I don't know if you can see the corner, but he just motioned, the trainer motioned the overhand right. He showed him the bolo shot. That's the shot.
You want to get back to that.
And that's the shot he should be looking for. So the corner's doing a good job.
Especially when Sonny has to punch down. It's just, it's there right after he jabs.
That's what you're trying to sucker him into if you're fighting in the crouch like Morales is. And there he goes.
So
He went for it.
This is not where Sonny wants to be at the distance of that jab. He wants Morales to be on the end of his jab. He doesn't want to be any closer than that.
That's right. So don't let Morales crouch in and sneak in and then catch you over the top. That's what he wants to do.
Because it's interesting, because Morales wants to be inside, but he doesn't force his way inside.
Right, right.
He
sneaks in.
He sneaks in. Yeah, he sneaks in. So you just be there jabbing away before you know it, he's right in your chest.
That's how you get a teardrop on your cheek, sneaking in.
But then even when he's inside, it takes him a while to start letting his hands go. It's like he's waiting for the perfect.
And I think Morales is by nature a counterpuncher.
Right.
That's his stance, that's his crouch. Everything he's doing really is working off the counterpunch.
Yeah.
Which is why in the first round he didn't barely do anything because he was looking for how he might counterpunch going forward.
That's true, yep.
Ooh, that might have been his best punch of the night. A nice left hook to the body. I felt
you
that
saw
one.
Sonny smile there, so you know.
Yeah, you felt that a bit. Yeah, there's a thin line between a smile and a wince. Of course. That's a nice exchange.
This is not where Sonny wants to be. He wants to be back on
but
that jab.
if he's in there, he should be looking for that uppercut.
He should be.
Right
You're
now,
right, he
it's
should be.
there. Boom, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, Morales answered with his own.
He's waiting for him to open up a little bit.
But now the over the top from Morales should come.
Yep, because that's where it's available.
He's gotten Sonny's hands down. He's got Sonny punching underneath, so he should start punching over top. Remember what your corner told you. Now it's there. Oh,
that was a good uppercut from
Sonny is changing the levels. This is a good performance from Sonny Hardy.
Especially taking into account who his opponent is, because I'm actually rating Morales' skill set.
Yeah,
Morales has skills. Morales is coming in there with a game plan.
Yeah.
Look, you can't come out with a kick like that and not be able to fight. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Immediately, he's literally got a trunk full of knives.
He's even got the fancy black and pink boots.
You know what I'm saying?
Matching
He
with
was
the
ready to
socks.
show out.
Matching with the
Show out
socks.
today. Good work to finish the round off from Sonny Hardy. He heard that clapper and just picked it up.
Nice. Nice finish.
I still think, even though he loves fighting this side, I still think his best work is at distance, Sonny Hardy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. He should take his opportunities inside and then get out, and he could frustrate Morales that way. If he can keep Morales out, and then when Morales comes in, catch him to the body, catch him with an uppercut, and then get him back outside, that is how you flawlessly fight an opponent that has the style and the game plan that Morales is coming in with. Because Morales hasn't gotten away from his game plan. The thing that he came to do, he's still trying to do it.
They want that overhand right. But I feel like Morales feels like that left to the body is his most effective shot, but that overhand right was definitely working for him.
It was, and he didn't use it in this 5th round when he could have. There was multiple opportunities where he could have got it. So that was surprising because I would have expected him to be looking for it. And there it is, and now he's rushing it. He hasn't brought Hardy's hands down, and he's trying to get it anyway.
Yeah.
And then Hardy's just able to block it with his gloves.
Yeah, because you're rushing it. He's expecting it.
Yeah.
There's no element of surprise.
Halfway through the 5th round, Morales was in a perfect position to land that big bolo shot. He had Sonny's hands down, and now he comes out at the beginning of the 6th, and Sonny, you got to start over. He's got to reset the whole. You know, he set a trap for him, and then he didn't spring it.
Yeah.
Why is everybody waving at me?
You're famous, Reeves. You know.
You better stay. I'm not going to be able to pick you up off the canvas, my man. Say hello after the fight.
You've probably interviewed his heroes. Oh, what a left hook.
All right, well, maybe I'm an inspiration. Yeah. Come back and wave at me again.
He just landed a lovely left hook there.
Oh, another one. Look at that.
Finished off with a body shot. So
this is definitely his best work. Now, you know, maybe if he had 2 more rounds and this was an 8-rounder, this is something to build on.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
However, I think he's probably got a minute left, so he would want to get busy if he wants to continue to take this round even. Yeah, as nice as those combinations were, I'm very uncomfortable when these fighters smile at me. I gotta tell you. It's like I'm working, you're working. Let's just do our respective jobs right now.
Oh, just landed a lovely left hook to the body and head again, Morales. I think it's doing him well when he's smiling at you, Raheem.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for him. It's not working for me, though. I'm distracted. Oh, my goodness.
Lovely left hook. And another one to the body.
Yeah, it's working for him. He just doesn't have enough time. He needs 2 more rounds. And I actually see Sonny fading a little bit, which is why this is working. But you gotta know how much time you have to build the house you want to live in. And he's not gonna be able to put a roof on this one.
No. That's an interesting analogy. I like that. I've realised the away fighters in the last round.
Yeah, they love show out like, they don't show out like.
Because that's how they get their next fight.
It's true.
Oh, nice. Oh, that was a nice one. That was a nice one.
I'd like to see 2 more rounds. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And there you go.
Yeah, good fight.
See that? That right there goes to show as well that Sonny just still needs to go back to the drawing board and work on them last couple of rounds.
The last punch of the fight, a cut on Sonny, right under the eye. It's not going to be anything to hold him out of the ring for the next fight, but it is a punctuation. We will see Alexander Morales again. And it's unfortunate that Melissa isn't going to be able to interview Morales because I want to know about these teardrops.
Maybe you can do a personal solo one backstage.
Yeah. All right, now the smile was enough. I'm not going backstage with him. Settle down. Everybody relax. This is some good action you're seeing here in the replay. Both fighters trying to close the show, trying to make a statement at the final bell, and I think Morales was able to do that while this was not his fight. However, this is the same referee, so maybe it's a draw.
No.
all right, everybody.
Of action, we go to your referee score total. ABQ scores the contest 59-55. He's still undefeated. The instigator, Sonny Hardy.
Sonny, you moved to 8-0 tonight, 8 tough rounds in there with a really, really strong opposition. What do you think won you that fight over 8 rounds?
I used a lot more savvy than usual. I showed a lot more maturity. I got, come on, stick it on. Whereas you see in my other fights, I literally just like to stand toe to toe. Don't get me wrong, I like having a tear up as I did there. But I used boxing IQ at the same time. I understood I'd give a round away. I had a round off in round 4. Let him come on a little bit more. I saw where I went wrong and I utilised and I adapted to it. But I think it's a very, very uplifting performance for me. I was very happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, you were both trying to control that centre of the ring. You're both investing heavily to the body. You look like you were really enjoying yourself in there, and that's the thing that really stands out as you fight more and more. How important is that enjoyment element to you?
If you don't love the sport you're doing, there's no point doing it at all. And if you haven't got the ambitions to be the best, there's no point stepping through the ropes either. So to be able to prove that I'm up there with the best, I've got to get in there. And obviously I had a tough opponent pull out in Rashid Omar. Speedy recovery to him, and hopefully we get that on again in the future. But that's the first time I've ever seen Morales hurt in a ring out of 23, 24 professional fights. So I made a big statement there in my eyes. And what did everyone else think of it? Was you entertained?
Yeah, I think they all really enjoyed it by the sounds of it. Morales was a really tough opponent. What was some of the advice that Kevin and Ed were giving you in the corner?
So we've watched a lot of...
Hello?
There we go. We've watched a lot of Morales' past performances, and he likes to get up on his toes, dance around. He never really gets involved like he does there. So there's that Mexican style coming out of him, and for me to be able to stand toe to toe with somebody like that and prove a big statement, I didn't need to do it, but I've done it, and we're moving on in the world now. So 8 rounds next, and we're coming to take over now. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, 8 fights in, you seem like you're really finding your feet in the pro ranks. How ready are you to kind of push on now, push on to the 10 rounders and those titles?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
When can we expect to see you back in action?
Tomorrow, yeah. Hopefully May or June time, depending on what the news comes about. But who's ready for number 9 in 8 rounds? Yeah, brilliant.
Listen, you always draw such a big crowd. How important is it to you to have such support in the building, and do you have a message for your fans?
Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for everyone here watching me at the O2 Indigo Arena right now, and everyone streaming in on FightZone, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do. So I want to say a big thank you to every single one of you who have come out, paid your hard-earned money to come and support. I love every single one of you. And roll on number 9. I want to say a big thank you as well to my sponsors, Pagan Construction, Psyking, Reach Group Community Project, Empire Fight Store, and the Highly Whiskey Clans here. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, without you guys, this wouldn't be possible.
Congratulations, Sonny. Can't wait to see you back in action.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
O2 Indigo, we're live on FightZone and we're all set to go for a 4-round special attraction in the super featherweight division. Introducing first to the ring, please welcome Jose Manuel Perez. And now entering the arena, the Golden Boy, Key.
This the Keen team. Uppercut, then it's sweet dreams. We're undefeated. Check the clean sheet. About to make a movie on this Polaroid. Put your shades on, cause you're fucking with a golden boy. This the Keen team. Uppercut, then it's sweet dreams. We're undefeated. Check the clean sheet. About to make a movie on this Polaroid. Put your shades on, cause you're fucking with a golden boy. Walk forward, he can't wait to get near them. No, they start fearing when they hear the name Kieran. If you try move king, then these shots start appearing. See this left hook, it might mess with your appearance. Double jab it, I might put him on the ropes. This ain't rope or dope, see this combo's...
O2 Indigo, we're ready for our next bout of the evening. Mark Neilson of Neilson Boxing, in association with John Trethaway of TM14 Promotions, present 4 rounds in the super featherweight division. The action is sponsored by Gladius, Alicra, and JJ Crump and Son. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Des Reese. Your timekeeper of the bell is Brett Bowles, and your referee is A-star referee Kieran McCann. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in today at 9 stone 4 pounds, wearing black and white. Taking part in his 33rd contest this evening from El Salvador, Jose Manuel Perez. And his opponent boxing out of the blue corner. He weighed in today at 9 stone 8 pounds, wearing black with gold. He's undefeated, taking part in his 2nd pro contest from London. Please welcome the Golden Boy, Kieran Key.
Big nickname to take on you.
So Kieran, listen up. You both know the rules. You will obey my commands at all times. When I tell you to break clean, take a step back and throw no punches. Mind your heads in close, and most importantly, lads, protect yourself at all times. All right, shake
Okay. Kieran Keane, the Golden Boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if, I feel like the Golden Boy might be retired as a moniker. I don't know, that's a tall order. I mean, wearing gold does not get you that title, so we will see.
It's a big name to
It's a
live up to,
massive name to just, you know what I mean?
There's a bit of a size difference here, though. Perez is considerably smaller than Keane.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Just go over right hand there, but we're expecting to see something special from the Golden Boy.
No, jokes aside, I wonder if he's taken that name on because of the style, because I am seeing him fighting a bit the way Oscar De La Hoya would fight.
Really?
I get what you're saying early in the career. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and of course I'm not talking about skill level
No, of
just
course.
yet, but I'm saying the way he's
Intensity,
approaching
the high
it,
hand,
it is
the way he wraps the shots in. Yep,
exactly what I'm
100%.
talking about. That's
100%.
And if I'm honest, I'm seeing a little bit of Mayorga out of Jose Perez right now.
Mayorga was all right.
He was all right. I mean, I'm not saying,
I wouldn't want to fight Mayorga in my 2nd fight.
I'm not slacking
so.
Perez off by saying that, but it is. I'm not kidding though. I mean, you know what I mean? He's got that kind of stabbing jab and these big winging punches, turning his back when he gets into a firefight. It's okay. I think what we are going to see from Jose Perez is a very game opponent. He's not there to get knockout punches. He's there to frustrate you, to keep you honest, and to punch you when you don't expect him to mount an offense. He looks like he's a runner, but he's running looking for shots to take. He's a pot shotter.
Yeah.
And he's making him miss by just the smallest inches as well sometimes.
And that's how you know you're dealing with a pot shotter, because he's still looking for offense while he's not just on the back foot, but running. Now, a shot like that to the rib will stop anybody's feet. if the golden boy, as it were, is able to land those kind of body shots, it'll slow Perez's feet down, and we just might get at least a knockdown out of this.
I wonder what TKT stands for.
I was wondering the same, you know. I was trying to think of what acronyms I could come up with. I mean, team, the Keen team. Okay. All right, you know what? Okay, genius.
No, I just saw Team Keen on the shorts at the back, and I thought, okay, the Team Keen.
I
or
see
the
that
Keen
too.
team, whatever I'm saying.
Well, hold on. You know what? It also says dad. I'm going to say that those are his dad's initials.
Oh, probably, maybe. Yeah, it could be.
I expect that Melissa will be able to speak to him after this fight if it continues to go the way, so maybe she'll get that out of him.
Perez showed some good evasive skills in that round. He made Keen miss quite a bit, but
Perez knows what he's doing in there. There's a difference between this kind of like disengagement for pod shotting purposes and the kind we saw very early in the opening of the night. Now, whether or not he keeps this up for the entirety of the 4 rounds is yet to be seen. What I usually get out of guys
just
like
missed 5 shots. He made Keen miss.
There you go. Now, because it's only 4 rounds, Perez will probably keep this up. But I've seen this style. This is a decided style that he's doing. And usually you get about 3 rounds of it, and then they just...
It doesn't hold up. There's only so long you can do it for. You'll probably see on Perez, he's got probably so many 4-rounders on his record. See, he keeps you honest. He's not just gonna let you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
If you lull the action, he'll look to poke his shots in there. Those body shots.
That's the second round to the body.
Let me try and tell you. I really like this from. You know what? I'm gonna call him Golden. And if he keeps this up for 3 more rounds, we'll call him Golden Boy. All right, Kieran, you can't let him get away with that. These shots are not effective, so you got to make him pay. Not just when he misses, but when he doesn't commit. That's the thing. Oh, good right hand. Nice overhead right. And Morales was leaning over, or Perez, I should say, was leaning over. That's the kind of shot you punch a guy going down, and he may just go down.
Yeah.
Perez, I like I don't know, I'm just watching him. I like the way he's just
clever.
makes you miss by an inch.
a little bit, yeah.
I don't know if you used to watch Duran, but Duran was the best at doing it. It'll make
we got Oscar De La Hoya and Roberto Duran in here. I mean, how much fun are we having, guys? Come on. I was a little timid to say, Mayorga, and he hits me with a Duran.
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. It started with the Golden Boy. It's the Golden Boy, you know. Right. We've got to exaggerate everything now.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I would say for Kieran, there's really just not enough on Perez's punches to have the Golden Boy keeping his hands in him. Like, he should be punching off of those counters, like, immediately. As soon as he gets touched, he should catch and shoot. Because it's just, there's no power behind Perez's punches. Sure. Yeah, jab. Oh, okay, that's clever. And I gotta say, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, but that is a De La Hoya shot. You can
long shoe shot.
Yeah, you can tell sometimes fighters, as a young kid, they get enamored with somebody and they just implement that style.
Maybe that's who he liked.
That's what I think it is. Because I really, jokes aside, am seeing evidence of that.
Just landed
and the way I can recognize it is because I was a huge Golden Boy fan. Like I've never competed in boxing, but I do spar and I'm in the gym. I'm a gym rat kind of guy. Oh yeah.
Who have you sparred?
Oh yeah.
Tell us.
friends, people that I trust. And the kind
He
of
said
person
people he
that
trusts.
leans in on you is like, who you spar, not you. You just took yourself out of the running.
He wanted to see if he can get you on the gym. Now. Oh, let's do some rounds. Let's do some rounds with him, man.
Yeah. Right, this man's never been this close to me all night. He's been sitting here for 3 fights.
Okay.
You see there in the replay that really Keane is having a good showing. He is able to execute what he came in to do game plan wise. However, to your point, Dan, Perez is very, very clever, and he's making Keane miss just by inches. If Perez actually had some pop on his punches, Keane might be in a little bit of trouble
Look
tonight.
at Perez's face. It doesn't look like he's got a blemish, and I can see why. He doesn't take that many clean shots.
Well said. You know, normally I would be telling Keane to press on the gas right now. We've only got 2 rounds left. But to your point, Dan, he can't be, he's got to stay cautious.
Yeah. That'll be the wrong thing to do. You just come raging in like a raging bull now.
That's right.
Ooh,
He should answer those shots. Like, it's easy for me to say they don't hurt, but there's just not enough muscle on him to justify Keane keeping his hands at home. You can't let Perez land a 5-punch combination. Oh, that's actually a nice body shot, but that's one of those weird ones. You know, he just poked it in there in between.
Perez is the type of fighter that you're hardly going to get 3 shots off on clean. If you land one, the second one you ain't.
My goodness.
He's tough though, Perez.
Yeah, I mean, that is a clean and hard enough body shot to put a guy down.
100%.
You see, he landed the body shot, but then upstairs missed. It's hard to land combinations on Perez.
To your point, maybe it's not Perez's offense that's keeping Keane's hands at home, but those misses by inches that's making him think whether he wants to throw the shot.
Because it's waste of energy. You start thinking, look, he just missed 5 shots in a row there.
No, I see it. You're exactly right.
The Duran wasn't too off. It wasn't too off-brand, was it? Because I ain't ever dodged 4 or 5 shots, so boy,
fair. Nice. I do like when Keane decides to turn it up. I'd like to see a bit more from him offensively in the next round, but I see him finding his spots. It's moments like this, though, where I would like to see that jab flicker out and make Perez work the whole round. Because to your point, like, he's making him miss, and he's very an elusive fighter, but there's not as much pressure on him as there could be.
Yeah, that's also true. You're right.
Oh, that was a lovely.
He just found a nice little body shot there, Perez.
And if you wait too long, he'll find that body shot. He'll find something to poke in there on you.
I think this is a good fight for Keane. You know, in the second fight, good learning fight. Like that's
very good learning fight. I mean, Perez ain't got enough power to kind of throw him off track or hurt him, but he's doing enough to make him think. The movement, the making him miss, coming back with shots, and it's like, how do you handle a style like this?
Yeah, that's what I like to say. You're keeping him honest.
Yeah,
you know?
keep him honest. Yeah, 100%.
Because a fighter like Keane, who names himself the Golden Boy, and has the kind of skill that may evolve into an Oscar De La Hoya type success, or at least success with that style, is going to not let you off the mat if you give him an opportunity to overwhelm you, right? If he felt comfortable in being offensive, he'd be keeping the pressure on all night.
100%. Sure. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But to his credit, I like how Keane hasn't got frustrated as well, because Perez seems like someone who can really frustrate you.
It's because his offense is working. Like, he's keeping his hand. The frustration is when he's not punching. But when he is punching, it's working for him. So it stands to reason that he is not frustrated. He's just thinking, well, do I have enough time? can I get there in the next round? This is a fun game of cat and mouse for Keane. You know, we've seen where he can get frustrated earlier in these bouts where the guy's just not engaging at all. You're trying to catch up to him the whole fight. That's not what this is. This is fun. This is like a chess match. Oof.
Oh, good shot, Stefan Perez.
Yeah, Keane was
trying to whip them in.
Keane was a bit out of position for that uppercut. It's a nice thought, but he wasn't in position to throw it.
Perez was already small. There we go. That's about to say. Keane should jab to the body more. Jab to the body.
Stab him to the body.
Stab him to the body.
Chest. Even the arms. Like,
Even,
don't go for
shoulders.
his head.
Don't go for the head. He's already small and he's moving his head. So just go to the body.
Yeah.
Arms, chest, body, anything.
And like I said earlier, I've seen a nice uppercut. That's when you're in position to throw it. But a fighter with this style can usually be stopped with a body shot. You know?
Yeah.
You know those little millimeters by which he makes Keane miss? If you slow his body down, if you hit him to the body, he can't make those little 100%. Quick reflexes, and that's how you get knocked out there.
I mean, we got good ring IQ, you know. Like,
Roberto Duran-esque, innit?
Wait, I thought you were talking about me.
No, I am talking about you. I said Raheem is. You know.
100%. He's been doing this for years, man. He knows what he's looking at, man. He knows what he's looking at.
You lot just missed the nice dip miss from Perez. Came out of 2 shots, but they missed. But I like his offensive. I mean, his evasive ability again. Denz, what would you do if you was fighting someone like this?
Hey, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So we've got Roberto Duran and Oscar De La Hoya being called by Howard Cosell. Oh, we hear that 10 seconds. Now this is when Keane really should throw some combination shots and just close the round as the boss. You know, I don't like at the end of the round, especially at the end of a fight, when they're happy to like.
Yeah. Just
let it. Let it distance.
Wait for the bell.
Yeah.
Just close the show. Like, just keep going.
Yeah, go. Like, what was it? The last fight where we seen them at the final bell?
Yeah. Just they heard the clap from and just said, "Let's go."
That's what we want to see.
Hey, look how much energy Perez has got. He's very happy, like, you know. Look.
I'm not even sure he went to his corner. He's just in the middle of the ring.
He's in the middle of the ring like he won the fight.
Yeah. Well,
but he came in, he done his job. Like you said, he came with a game plan. He knew what he wanted to do, and I think he done it.
We go to your referee score total. Referee Kieran McCann scores the contest 14-36 in favor of your winner, the Golden Boy, Kieran Keane.